Ashley, and we are here at the Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey, a half an hour before the Raiders are on the clock for the number 1 overall pick. Bo Wulf, E.J. Smith, the great NFL draft analyst Fran Duffy is here to guide us through it. We've got Brandon Lee Gowton waiting in the wings. We're going to do a little switching around as the night goes on. We are here through the final pick of the first round, and of course we'll be back tomorrow night and on Saturday as well for a big night for the NFL and the Eagles as they look to reshape this roster, a roster that is already loaded with very good first-round picks. Let's see if Howie Roseman can do it again. EJ, let's start with you. What do you expect? What do you expect from Howie Roseman tonight?
I think the good money, the safe money is on offensive line, offensive tackle. In particular, who it is, I think it depends on who falls. So, I think plan A for the Eagles tonight is to get a blue-chip player at the offensive tackle position. Depends on how things play out over the course of the first round. Water
gun to your heel.
Okay.
Trade up or not?
Oh, trade up for sure.
Okay.
I think that, there's a real chance that there's a run on offensive line. And, Howie Roseman has been aggressive the last 5 seasons, if you look at it. They've traded up 4 of the last 5 first rounds in the NFL draft. And even the year that they didn't, they traded up in the second round for Cooper DeJean. So,
but I think that's instructive because that was probably their best run draft.
Yep.
Was the year that they were able to stay patient. Now that draft was deeper than this one, so they may not have the opportunity to do that this year. If you are just now tuning into the draft process, Eagles have the number 23 overall pick. They've got a second rounder and 2 third rounders if they want to have some ammunition to move up. They could also potentially deal from some future picks if they think that there are some more future picks coming their way in a potential A.J. Brown trade. They're going to get a third-round pick from Jalen Phillips' comp pick potentially. So Howie Roseman has some ammunition. Fran, you've been working the phones. You're dialed in. How high up do you think the Eagles could get tonight?
I would say that they could get into the top 15. I do think it's possible if they felt really motivated to go up, if they fell in love with one of these tackles, if there's an early run, and I know we'll go through some scenarios here in the coming segments, but when you look at it, they could make a pretty substantial move up the board. Now, I think it's more likely that they get into the high teens, into 20, 21, something in that area, but they absolutely could go as high as they basically want.
That is, I think the Howie Roseman history is instructive here.
Yeah.
Because, yes, he is always willing to move up to find his guys. I think we've talked about the Marcus Smith experience is kind of instructive there. He doesn't want to miss out on guys at the top tier, and he knows that he can recoup mid-round picks as the draft goes on.
Yeah.
But I also think that the history tells us that big move-ups in the first round, it is not kind.
Yep.
And I think he is probably wary of that. And so I am curious to see how he handles it tonight. If we assume that he wants to move up for, let's call it one of the top 4 tackles.
Yep.
Kadyn Proctor, Monroe Freeling, the guys we expect to potentially be in range. That's presuming that Francis Mauigoa and Spencer Fano go early, right, Fran?
I think that's right. And, it really is going to come down to when the run starts at offensive tackle. And it could happen as early as number 3, which is the Arizona Cardinals right now. It could happen number 5, New York Giants. It could happen number 6, Cleveland Browns. So when that run starts, I think will help inform how aggressive Howie needs to get with trying to move up.
All right, let's play a little bit of a game in terms of what you might want to be rooting for if you are an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
So as you see picks coming off the board, what is good for the Eagles? So if you are under the impression that you should get one of those top 4 tackles, you're hoping for likely Proctor or Freeling to get in range for Howie to move up, what are the things you're rooting for, Fran?
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, offensive line is a position in this class. We talked about it on the show. This is a class where, this is a weak group overall, but offensive tackle, a lot of profiles that everybody's excited about. And so I think there are a number of teams in the top 22 that are going to be looking at offensive line. And like I said, it could start early at number 3. You go to number 5, New York Giants. Number 6, the Cleveland Browns. And if we're looking specifically at Monroe Freeling, the tackle from Georgia, or Kadyn Proctor, the tackle from Alabama, those are the 2 that are most likely to get within range for the Eagles. Now, both of those players, guys, have been attached to the Cleveland Browns throughout the process. So could the Browns go off the board and take one of those guys? That is within the realm of possibility. There have been mock drafts where each of those guys have gone number 6 to the Cleveland Browns. Now, it's probably more likely that the Browns trade down from 6 and select one of those players. So that's something certainly to watch as the top 10 starts to unfold. Then after that, Kansas City is the next team to watch. The Chiefs have been rumored potentially to be in the offensive tackle market. They took a tackle in the first round last year who missed a bunch of time in Josh Simmons. looks like they're looking for potentially for an offensive tackle. Now, they have been linked most to Spencer Fano, the right tackle from Utah. That said,
Andy Reid and the Utah BYU connection will never stop.
Can't give it up.
Yeah.
Now, Proctor does fit the type of tackle they have gone for in the past, those big body tackles. Now, Proctor, he's more of your big bruiser, power at the point of attack. Monroe Freeling, more of your dancing bear type, the pass protecting tackle. So they've got differing skill sets. So I would say Kansas City, Miami at number 11. This is a team that if Fano gets there, I do think Fano probably ends up there. But after that, I do think that Proctor and Freeling both could be in play for the Miami Dolphins. You go to number 13, the LA Rams. Everybody thinking wide receiver with them. This week, the buzz is starting to turn a little bit that it could be a non-wide receiver for the LA Rams, and tackle is a position where they could go Freeling. We've seen him mocked there. Also Proctor, they could view him as a guard. They like bigger, powerful guards. They could view him there. Baltimore Ravens, that could be a Proctor team. Tampa Bay, everybody's mocking pass rush to Tampa Bay, corner, tight end Kenyon Sadiq. What I'm hearing behind the scenes is that the Bucs want an offensive lineman.
Scoopy.
This could be the floor for Proctor. There are some people out there that view this as the floor for Kadyn Proctor. Detroit Lions at number 17.
Everybody
this is the
thinks
big
they're
one.
going tackle,
Here's the thing. I actually think they are not going offensive tackle.
Okay.
Now, if you go to the consensus mock drafts right now, so I just put one up on the All NFL Draft newsletter. Subscribe. You can get that in your inbox. Kadyn Proctor most often mocked to the Detroit Lions. Number 1. Number 2 for them, Monroe Freeling. Those are the two players that everybody thinks they're going to land with the Detroit Lions. Looking at the work that the Lions have done on these prospects, most of the work that they have done have been on the mid-round tackles. Jude Bowery, Travis Burke from Memphis, guys that are going late day 2, early day 3. I think it's more likely they end up with an edge rusher. I think they're looking for somebody to pair with Aiden Hutchinson. And so if you're an Eagles fan, you're rooting for that to happen. You want the Lions to be going pass rusher here. That would be the next one to watch. The other team that I think is going to be going tackle is the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21. There's been news about Broderick Jones. He's coming back from the injury. I had heard going back to the combine that was a tackle team. And so I would keep an eye on them. I do think Blake Miller, the tackle for Clemson, that's probably the ceiling there. I think he could end up being a Pittsburgh Steeler. The Carolina Panthers at 19, also rumored as an offensive tackle team. But those are the teams that, and look, that's a lot. We just went through half the top 22. Yeah. Half the teams ahead of the Eagles could be in the offensive line market.
Now, here's the deal. We are here at Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey. They've got great drink specials going on. We're not drinking while we're doing the show.
No.
Yeah.
Unless the Eagles draft Blake Miller. Fran, we got to do it. We got to do something.
I would say I'll be at the Jefferson Health
you'll
Complex
be gone.
by then,
You're going to head over before that. But if the Eagles draft Blake Miller, who are, if you are just tuning in, Fran believes couldn't even play offensive line in flag football.
He's a backup offense. I grade him as a backup.
Okay, we're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
So you're rooting for
an
early run on edge rushers. You know, I think the Chiefs are a team that's been linked to a lot of edge rushers, especially Ruben Bain. What jumped out to me when you went through the teams, Fran, is that the Bucs being a tackle team, they seem like a good landing spot for the Eagles if they wanted to move up.
Yes.
But maybe they have to get ahead of Tampa Bay if they want to get one of these premier tackles.
Now we only really talked about the tackles there, but the other offensive lineman to put in the mix would be Venga Ioane.
Right. Yeah. If one of those tackle teams takes him, that's still good news for the Eagles.
My understanding is that Ioane is going to go in the top 15, 16. So I do think that he's going to end up going. You know, as early as number 10 to the New York Giants. I mocked him to the Rams at 13 last night in the mock draft that got posted this morning. So I think when you're looking at Ioane, he would be a player that should fit with one of these offensive line needy teams.
All right, there are a couple other scenarios we want to talk about. I think there are Eagles fans out there and maybe people covering the team who would like to see them go get Kenyon Sadiq. We're going to talk about the potential dominoes for that to happen. Maybe you're hoping for Keldric Faulk, the very exciting defensive lineman from Auburn. There are some people who are rooting for a safety here, which I do not see happening, but we can talk about that. But before we get to all of that, got to tell you that tonight and this whole draft weekend is also a big deal for us because of the partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters. And you will see if you are watching on YouTube, there's the button there to donate. We are raising money for Big Brothers Big Sisters and also encouraging people to get involved. If you can think about making the jump to become a big, that would be a really great thing and go a long way in making an impact in the community. This is part of our big draft initiative. And so we're going to take our first break here on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show. But on the other side, we're going to bring in and introduce you to a new couple, a new pair, a big and a little. And they are our partnership of the weekend. Very exciting to get to talk to them and learn a little bit about what that process has been like. We'll tell you a little bit more about that when we come back, as the Raiders are now 20 minutes away from being on the clock. Stay with us here on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton. Chickies and Pete's, we're here. And you know that Chickies and Pete's was voted the #1 sports bar in America by ESPN, and they are right here in the Delaware Valley, the best sports bar and crab house on the planet. Now you can build your own scrumptious seafood boil. Choose from mussels, sweet and succulent snow crab legs, Dungeness or hard-shell crab, tasty lobster claws, shrimp or clams. You can get it all. And the boils also include Chickies and Pete's delectable smoked sausage, corn, and potatoes, plus crab juice, drawn butter, and you know you got that bread for dipping, baby. Or you could try Chickies' delicious shrimp po' boy, baked oysters, crab cake sliders, or Philly cheeseburger sliders, plus half-price classic or boneless wings every Monday night only at Chickies and Pete's. For details and locations, visit chickiesandpete's.com. That's CHICKIES and Pete's.com. We love Chickies.
The Fanatics app is the all-in-one destination for every part of your sports fandom. You can get official gear from your favorite teams and players, including the latest drops, exclusive releases, and must-have merch all in one place. Playoff time is heating up for the Sixers and the Flyers in the next few weeks. Now is the perfect time to get some new gear. It's also more than just shopping. You can play free daily games in the app to earn fan cash, which you can spend on jerseys, game tickets, collectibles, and much, much more. Imagine scoring some Sixers playoff tickets or getting a new Flyers jersey just by playing the free daily game in the app. It's all in one place, and it's built for fans like you. So download the Fanatics app today and start cashing in on your fandom. App access open to all, 21 and over to play. No purchase necessary. U.S. only. Void where prohibited.
All right, well, just as we know, the Eagles will be on the clock in a little bit here tonight. Tonight is all about making dreams come true and draft dreams come true. And so as part of our Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Big Draft, we are here to introduce to you a new match, which is very exciting. A brand new local match, a big and little from here in Philadelphia. Big Kevin. No, Evan. Isn't the little, it's Kevin. It's here's the deal. You do not have to have a rhyming name to be a big and a little, but you guys are sort of tell us when you became big and littles and how excited you are. Start with you.
I think we matched in September. So pretty recent match, but it's been going great so far. We love hanging out with each other. So, well, speaking for myself, I love hanging out with Kevin, but yeah. I think he'd share the sentiment. Yeah.
Kevin, what kind of stuff have you guys done together?
We have did things like played basketball, simpler things like went to a cafe. We went to arcades before. We really did countless things. It was really fun.
How would you describe Evan's game on the basketball
court? Yeah, I want to know who won the game.
Can you give us like an NBA comparison? Can you tell us what type of player we're dealing with here?
I'd say I'm like, he's at first he was a little shaggedy, but he's gotten way better. So I'm proud.
Well, here's the deal. We've got a little mini hoop out here. Yeah. I saw you guys shooting. But,
I mean, scouting report.
You've clearly got better form than him. I know you were. Yeah, I know you were dusting.
No, but he got a shot.
Jump shot's a little broken, but
okay. No, he has a shot.
I can get it in the basket.
It might not look good, but
it's effective.
Workmanlike.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So tell us what made you want to become a big?
So I went to school at Haverford College, just outside in the suburbs. And I moved to Philly full time, I think last January, and I really wanted to find a way to give back to the community, volunteer. I love working with kids. And I actually saw an NFL commercial during the Super Bowl. I saw a Big Brothers Big Sisters commercial, and from there I knew it was something I was kind of interested in, but from there I really wanted to apply, and it took a few months to find a match, but it was that was really what started. Yeah.
Well, that's great of you to have done, and it's a good reminder because Kevin, you had been sort of on the wait list for a little bit, right? And so there is a need for people in the community to step up and become bigs. What was it like when you found out that you did have a match?
I was pretty excited because like I don't know how to explain it. Like I was on it, and then after a while, it did take a little while to get that match, so I wasn't really like too much worried about it. But when I did get it, I was excited because I was happy to experience something new.
All right, and that's what it's all about, is creating these sort of one-on-one connections in the community, right? Now, we were talking a little bit before we started rolling. Kevin, give us your Jalen Hurts opinion. What do we think of Jalen?
He's goated.
He's goated?
Best QB.
I like that.
In the league right now,
that.
at least.
Yeah.
Goated? Oh, I'm up on the lingo.
No, I know, but I feel like we could use that.
We could use Jalen Hurts as goated.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Who are some of your other favorite players on the team?
I feel like if I say Saquon, it's like.
I mean, you could say Saquon. He's awesome. Yeah.
Saquon. I'd probably say AJ Brown.
I mean, like, we hope we got him for a little bit longer. We'll see.
I know, right?
That might change tonight. You never know.
I'm telling you. I like Slay, but
Oh, Slay's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, do you play football too?
No, I play basketball, but I really used to be into football. Like, I used to love football, but I just started straying away from it and gotten closer to basketball.
And what's your game like? Whose game do you have a similar game to in terms of basketball?
Probably Shy.
Shaq?
Okay.
Is that
Shy?
Shay.
No, Shy.
Oh,
Shay.
Shaq. I was like, Shaq.
No.
You're dunking. Yeah, that's great.
Not yet.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
But you said that you saw the NFL commercial, and we're just talking about the athletes. You do not have to be a pro athlete to make an impact. Just showing up can consistently, and that will do to change a life, right? What are some things that you guys are looking forward to doing in the future?
I think fishing is a big one we've
that's a
really
good one.
wanted to do, but kind of like the weather hasn't been great.
Yep.
So we're still trying to source a spot, but now that it's getting a little warmer out, I think that's something that we're.
Is that something that you are well versed in, fishing?
I fished a lot with my dad growing up, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I love going out into nature, and we've like gone to some parks before and just kind of walked around. But yeah,
I'm just too impatient for the fishing. You know, I might need.
that's
maybe I'll tag
understandable.
along with you guys.
That's
I need
fair,
some tips on how to be more patient with the fishing.
So where are you from originally?
I'm from Charleston, South Carolina,
Okay.
originally. Yeah,
And you have come here and you feel that you've become one with the city. I appreciate
I'd say
that.
so. Yeah.
That's great. All right. This is very exciting. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you.
Great to meet you. Any other sort of draft predictions that you want to see the Eagles do tonight, Kevin?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't watch too much sports, even though I play it. Like,
Okay.
I don't really watch it.
You know what? That's
much.
probably better for you.
Yeah.
Stay out there. Stay active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I play it more than I watch it. So I mean, like, of course I watch Super Bowl games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, if it's not a big game, just keep it real. I don't watch it that much.
Now, because we have you here and your sisters are here, can we give a shout out to your sisters? Give them a little shout out.
Shout out to my little sisters. Great.
They were here before. They got great camera presence.
Yeah,
I feel like we should have stepped off and let you
I
guys
was
just
going
do
to
the
say, they
segment
seemed
together.
like they had it under control before we came in here.
They want to be superstars.
All right, well, that'll do it for this introduction of a brand new match to the community. While teams are making their picks for the future tonight, you can make a pick that truly matters. Become a mentor. Check out Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Do your part for the community. Thank you so much. We'll be back with more on the other side here tonight on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show. Back here on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, presented by
The Fanatics app.
and Ashley here at Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey. Great to talk to Evan and Kevin there. And just a reminder that there are so many young people waiting for a mentor, especially young boys, and this is why this campaign with Big Brothers Big Sisters is so important. So we're very happy to be partnering with them over the course of draft weekend. Already some generous donations, over $100 in the chat, so thank you so much for that. Really good stuff, and it was a pleasure to meet those guys. I'll tell you what, Kevin, he's got a good jumper on.
I'm about to say, he was really on the money when for the Papa shot outside the studio. Yeah, he was great.
Great camera presence too. Great to meet the whole family. So that was a lot of fun, and just to see the tangible impact that people like Evan are making. So please consider making an impact if you can. Back to the action here for the Eagles. And EJ, we've talked about Plan A for Howie, most likely trying to move up for one of these tackles.
Yeah, so I think Plan A is exactly what you stated there, and Plan B, I think, is to get a difference maker on offense still. Again, the Eagles have been heavy on the defensive side of the ball. I went through it with Fran earlier today. 10 of their last 12 picks have come on the defensive side of the ball over the last few years. So for me, I think it's clear that they are going to target offense early and often. And then you start to look at players not on the offensive line. Kenyon Sadiq, Casey Concepcion, Omar Cooper. I've seen Denzel Boston thrown in there as well. I'm not as bullish on that one, but as our listeners will know, I have been bullish about Kenyon Sadiq as a fit. I think he has a very clear pathway toward being an impact player early in his career, and really at a position that the Eagles still need to address because their entire tight end room is on a one-year contract at this point.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Kenyon Sadiq, because I think he is one of the more interesting players for the Eagles and would be one of the more exciting outcomes from night one for Eagles fans, because there is a path here where Kenyon Sadiq fills a hole for the Eagles, both short-term and long-term. You know, you're pairing him with Dallas Goedert in 12 personnel that allows him to sort of grow at a position where guys do often take some time to develop. But there's real upside that he could turn into a game-changing tight end. Fran blew up the combine. The production profile leaves a little bit wanting, but you are a big fan of Kenyon Sadiq and what he could theoretically bring to an Eagles offense.
Yeah, he ended up finishing inside my top 13 players overall in this draft. And when you look at his skill set, dynamic athlete, he's a really physical blocker. He's got great hands and phenomenal yards after catch ability. First stood out to me in the playoffs in 2024, hurdling a Penn State defender and running into the end zone. Outstanding ability with the ball in his hands. And like I said, not a pushover as a blocker. He gets after linebackers, safeties, anybody out in space. He does great work, and he's going to compete at the point of attack against defensive linemen. He's on the undersized side of the spectrum, but this is a guy that, to me, has 3-down skill set written all over him.
Yeah,
6'3", 241, just to underscore it. Ran a 4.39 40 at the combine and had these crazy jumps as well, 99, 98th percentile. The question is, why didn't he have more production as a receiver? How do you explain that away for him?
Yeah, they had a bunch of receivers that were highly recruited, guys that they brought in the transfer portal, and I think we're starting to see this around college football, whether it's the young recruits that are coming in, you're trying to keep those guys happy so that they don't transfer out, and then you have the guys that you paid to bring in that you're also trying to make sure you keep happy. So I think at the end of the day, you have to evaluate the skill set. Tight end is not a position where production necessarily predicts future NFL success. There are examples of that in the NFL right now. So to me, Sadiq, this is a guy I'm willing to bet on.
What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I feel like the two-way aspect of his game sometimes goes under the radar because he is a smaller tight end. When you watch the film on him, and I know, Fran, you've watched a lot on him, where he can, move a defensive end on a down block. He can get up to the second level and punish somebody in that second level. So for me, he really fits where the Eagles are going offensively. You think about the scheme that Sean Mannion is bringing to the Eagles, I think it's going to prioritize having tight ends that can contribute in both the run and the pass game. And I also think about the Tucker Kraft role in those Green Bay Packers offenses putting Kenyon Sadiq alongside Dallas Goedert gives them the flexibility to be multiple, have multiple tight end sets, and have guys who can contribute in both phases.
Now, Fran, if you are thinking about sort of the domino effects and the chess pieces of this draft in particular, if you want to come out with a tackle and a tight end, you want to find a guy who can potentially replace Lane Johnson down the road. Starting tackles, really good ones, generally speaking, come in the first round.
Yes.
Almost exclusively. In this draft, it's pretty deep at tight end, right? And so, now listen, you got to take who's on the board, but this is a situation where they could do, think about Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave.
Yeah.
Those guys were drafted in the same draft, and Kraft was drafted after Musgrave. The Eagles could do something like that and maybe still get sort of the tight end bump that they're hoping for.
It really comes down to what they're willing to give up to move up for one of these tackles, because the chances are you might have to give up both of your threes, or a 3 and a 4, and that's right in the heart of where the depth of this tight end class really kicks into high gear. And so if you want one of this is going to be a record-setting number of tight ends that come off the board this year in the NFL draft, more than we've ever seen in the history of the draft. So to me, you want to be able to get one of those guys from the meat of it. If you miss out on Sadiq, if you're going to trade up for one of these tackles and you don't take Sadiq there, you're going to give up some of those picks that could give you a good shot at one of these tight ends.
And who before the Eagles could draft Sadiq before they get on the board?
So there are a handful of teams I'd keep an eye on. Number one, actually the Kansas City Chiefs at number 9. Now, I don't think it will happen at 9. I think that when we've talked about a lot about the Chiefs over the course of the last couple of weeks, a lot of the conversations I've had, hey, this is a team to keep an eye on moving up, but also moving back. And so if they move back, I do think that there's been a little bit of smoke that he could be on the short list for players they could take if they move back into the middle of the top 15, top 16 of this draft. So I'd start with the Chiefs looking for a Travis Kelce replacement. After that, I'd go to the LA Rams, similar kind of situation. If they're at 13, they could decide that they want to take Kenyon Sadiq and add to their deep young tight end room. After that, Baltimore Ravens, this is where it really gets serious. Number 14. Now, he was the third most popular pick for them in the consensus mock draft, second most down the stretch. A lot of analysts really feel Sadiq could be a fit there. Why? Lamar Jackson loves throwing to the tight end. They lost Isaiah Likely in free agency. He goes to the New York Giants. Isaiah Likely, a player that I actually compared Kenyon Sadiq to, as a souped-up version of him. Declan Doyle, new offensive coordinator, wants to major in 12 personnel. They have that hole there. I think it makes a lot of sense. Tampa Bay Bucs, they have been linked often to Kenyon Sadiq, typically with a trade down, but that's another team to keep an eye on. Although, like I said, I think they might be going offensive line. Minnesota Vikings at 18.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Kevin O'Connell is now running the show. General manager got fired, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. Kevin O'Connell is now calling the shots. More pressure on him. He wants to be a little bit more explosive on offense. There have questions at wide receiver. I think Sadiq makes a lot of sense for this team. So I would keep an eye on the Minnesota Vikings. And then the last one at 19, Carolina Panthers. I do think they're going to end up taking Dylan Thieneman, the safety from Oregon, if he's there. If he's not, I think they're looking at Kenyon Sadiq or one of these wide receivers.
All right, good breakdown. Now, before we go to break, a little shout out to the Super Chats in the comments. Those of you watching live on YouTube, a very generous donation from James Carbone. Thank you very much. He says, Fran and the entire PHLY team have provided incredible draft content all year long. The All-City Draft Guide alone is worth the price of the subscription, and we get so much more. You will not find coverage and content like this anywhere else. Hashtag Duffman to God.
Very, very nice. I really appreciate that. Really
very
nice.
Thank you very much, James.
Very generous.
Joe Rockhead says women go crazy for those sharp-dressed men. And there's a poll going on in the chat about who's best dressed.
Okay. I
don't know.
Three-way tie.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Let's take our next break here, because when we come back, the draft gets underway.
Let's go.
The Las Vegas Raiders will be on the clock. We can find out what Fran thinks about Fernando Mendoza, how he compares to some of the other quarterbacks who have gone at the top of the drafts in recent years. And we start the ball rolling as Howie Roseman tries to figure out, can he move up? What's he willing to do? Stay tuned. Ashley's biggest one-day event is here, and it's happening this Saturday. Starting at 10 a.m., you've got 12 hours, that's it, to save big on all of Ashley's hottest styles. Take up to 20% off Ashley's furniture, or shop now and pay later with Ashley's 60-month no-interest financing, sofas, bedrooms, dining sets, sectionals, and more. Up to 20% off. Don't miss the huge savings this Saturday, and only this Saturday, at Ashley. All right, folks, you know what time it is. It's not time to be on the clock. No, no, no. It's time to celebrate Financial Literacy Month. That's right. April is Financial Literacy Month, and that means it's a good opportunity for you to teach your kids how to handle their money. If you're a TrueMark member, you've got a fantastic opportunity to help your kids and teens learn to earn, save, and spend wisely with a Greenlight account. Greenlight is not just any app. It's a game changer for your kids. Whether they're setting savings goals, learning how to track their spending, or even getting their allowance, it's all right there at their tiny little fingertips. So if you're looking for a way to teach your kids some financial plays this Financial Literacy Month, I can't recommend the Greenlight app enough. It's like training for life's biggest game. Head over to truemark.com/greenlight. That's TRUMARK.com/greenlight to get all the details and sign up today. Don't miss the chance to set your kids up for financial success. TrueMark is federally insured by the NCUA as an equal opportunity lender, NMLS 404938. Ashley's biggest one-day event is this Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. So if you want, you can just go there right before round 4 starts, get your shopping done, and then come on over and watch the show. But this is the chance to do it, because this is a one-day event. Shop Ashley's hot buys and unwind on the Belcaro Play sofa and sleep in style on the Port Down Queen bed. Plus, take up to 20% off all Ashley furniture, or shop now and pay later. Don't miss the huge savings starting at 10 a.m. this Saturday during Ashley's 12-hour sale. We are back on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, Night 1 from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey. Bo Wulf, E.J. Smith, Fran Duffy, Brandon Lee Gowton will join us in a little bit. And it's time now. Ashley's on the clock because the Las Vegas Raiders, it is 8 o'clock. It is time for them to go on the clock. And Fran, every expectation in the world. They will be drafting Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback from Indiana. How does he compare to some of the other quarterbacks who have gone at the top of the drafts in the past three years or so?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely worthy of going number 1 overall in a typical draft. I think that he would have been right there in the discussion with Cam Ward a year ago. He just had an unbelievable final season with the Indiana Hoosiers. I liked his tape when he was at Cal in 2024. Graded him as a high-end backup, a guy that kind of reminded me a little bit of Tanner McKee in a lot of ways. A lot of the things I liked about Tanner, I liked about Fernando Mendoza. He's really tough in the pocket. The poise really stood out. I thought he had solid arm talent. I wasn't blown away. Took a lot of sacks when he was at Cal. So watching him in Indiana, I still saw, all right, he's gonna throw some to the other team every once in a while. There were some things that I couldn't get all the way there on. He's not a creator back there at the quarterback spot. But, man, the toughness and the poise, it just overwhelms you. What he does in those high leverage moments, third down, red zone, 2-minute drill, which, look, you don't want to overgrade and go nuts over a small sample size of plays, but he just consistently came up in the clutch for an undefeated Indiana team that went all the way to the national title game. And along the way, whether it's game-winning touchdowns in the 2-minute situation, making plays in the fourth quarter, making plays on third down, he was nails when they needed him most. It was tough to not put him at the top of the board. He's a really, really good player.
Mendoza or Cam Ward, who had a higher grade for you?
I believe Mendoza. They were similar tier. Okay. I believe Mendoza ended up with a higher grade.
Behind Caleb Williams,
behind
Jaden
Caleb
Daniels,
Williams,
Drake May?
Yes, behind Williams and Daniels for sure for me. And honestly, I'm pretty sure, I would have had a higher one on May as well.
Okay, and then 2023 is Bryce Young.
It would have been the same tier as Bryce Young.
Okay.
I probably had a higher grade on Bryce Young, but I'd have to go look.
How do you feel about the fit with the Raiders?
I love the fit. I think honestly, it's a really good situation for him to go to an offense like this with Clint Kubiak coming in as the offensive coordinator. He's working right now with Brian Griese, who also has come from that tree, was just the quarterback's coach for the San Francisco 49ers. And Griese also was the starter at Michigan for Tom Brady, ahead of Tom Brady. Like there's deep roots here. In terms, I think he's going to be pretty far along with the offense by the time he gets to Las Vegas. And
the personality mix, the comparisons to Kirk Cousins, the fact that they're now just together is very funny.
No, it's there's going to be. But honestly, though, it's setting him up for success. He's going to be in a good spot. I'm interested to see how he does.
Fewest curse words in the league in that quarterback room, I would imagine. Curse words per week in that room. It's got to be the fewest.
I think he's got a little bit to him, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
He cursed once on camera, and it was like a big thing. So the fact that he did it on camera, that means when the camera's not rolling, he probably does.
Well, how many curse words do you think are flying in the Eagles quarterback room?
Oh, Jalen curses a good amount. Yeah,
but Jalen doesn't talk that much. So even if he curses,
he doesn't talk to us that much.
Yeah.
But I think Jalen curses a good amount. I think Jalen probably does a good amount of cursing. Tanner McKee's not contributing
not going to
much.
be cursing too much.
Yeah.
I don't know
Andy
about
Dalton, the red rifle.
Andy Dalton. Yeah.
I could see him going either way on that one.
He's got some old band energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. See that?
All right,
this is what everyone came here for, obviously.
On the Clock, presented by Ashley, as we wait to see what the Las Vegas Raiders do at number 1 overall. Now, another super chat that we have, as we are very grateful to everybody contributing in the comments. CJ says, watching on the Roku channel, which is very cool. Watching on Fast, love that. Draft guide up on the phone, so he's got it all covered. He says, let's go get Faulk. Keldric Faulk, the Auburn defensive lineman. And this leads to, what are the other sort of backup plans you think the Eagles have, EJ?
Yeah, I think that this is Plan C, and I titled this one your Jihaad Campbell type, where a player is sticking out on your board. When I'm at the Jefferson Health Complex in a couple hours, if it is Keldric Faulk or a player like that, Howie Roseman will be standing at the podium going, this guy stood out like a sore thumb on our board. We had to make a move and go get him. And I think that Keldric Faulk, I'll defer to you on this, Fran, but I do think he fits the bill as somebody that, if he does get in the Eagles' range, they would trade up and get him.
I'll be very interested to see where he comes off the board, because he is a very divisive player. I'm very, very high on him. As we know, I think a lot of the league is higher on him than most of the media. I think the media is sour on him for whatever reason, but this is a profile that excites me. He's a player I will bet on 99 times out of 100. Yeah. He's young. He's versatile. He's got great character. He's got clean medical. He can win from a number of techniques. He's a phenomenal run defender with pass rush upside. He only had 2 sacks last year for Auburn. He had 7 the year before as a 19-year-old in the SEC, a sophomore team captain for Auburn. I will bet on that profile 99 times out of 100. But not a lot of teams, there's not a lot of buzz out there for him. And if he goes in the top 20, the fan base is not that picks him. They're not going to be universally happy. So it's a very divisive situation with Keldric Faulk.
Also, a perfect fit for the Eagles.
Yeah.
And specifically what they need, because this is a guy who is going to dominate on rundowns, on early downs, adding to the rotation with Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. There's a spot there. And then there's an opening down the road. If the Eagles see fit, he can rush the passer from the inside on third down. And as Monroe Freeling enters the final year of his rookie deal, unlikely I think the Eagles are going to be able to re-sign him given the expectations of having to pay Jalen Carter what they are already paying Jordan Davis. The guy can sort of do everything and fill a couple holes for you. And I'm with you, Fran. I mean, just from a profile standpoint, young, intangibles, measurables, and even the production. The 7 sacks as a true sophomore in the SEC is enough production, especially when he was spending so much time inside.
And to me, watching the film of him, it's very easy to explain away the lack of production because of what he was asked to do within the structure of that Auburn scheme. He was not always asked to just pin his ears back and get upfield after the quarterback. There was a lot of contained rushes, a lot of 3-man rushes where they're trying to constrict the pocket, keep the quarterback in there to throw in the SEC rather than run around and make plays. And so when I'm looking at Keldric Faulk, this is a guy that I think certifiably is going to be more productive as an NFL player than he was as a collegiate.
All right. Are there any other guys who you think could potentially slide and be that Jihaad Campbell type, EJ?
Yeah, so I think Caleb Downs is a player that I don't expect him to slide, but somebody has to fall, is what I always say.
If all the offensive linemen get pushed up.
If there's a run on offensive linemen, a run on edge rushers, all of a sudden Caleb Downs is on the board.
The safety from Ohio State.
In that 16 to 18 range, do the Eagles try and make a move for a player like that? Beyond that, it's hard to project who would fall. I mean, again, maybe some of the tackles, but Caleb Downs is the one to me that does feel like a Howie Roseman type move on night one to move up and get one of the best players in the draft.
Let me throw one at you. USC wide receiver Makai Lemon.
Yeah.
I do think there's a decent chance that he's not even the third receiver off the board. And so if he were to fall into the high
Carnell,
teens,
Tate, Jordan Tyson,
and Omar Cooper Jr. going potentially 16 to the New York Jets.
Wow.
That would be one. Makai Lemon, I would wonder if that would be a player that they would try and make a play for.
Now tell us about the kind of player he is. This is a guy who makes his living inside, his best work at least.
I think so. I think that's where you probably want to ideally put him in the NFL, is in the slot, but he's on the smaller side. That said, he's really tough. He catches everything. He's a pretty good route runner. He's smooth. He's not dynamic. And that's where I kind of got held up, guys, is that I don't view him as a overly dynamic playmaker at the wide receiver position. But at the end of the day, when you look at guys like Jackson Smith and Jigba, and you look at Puka Nacua, and you look at some of the most productive receivers in football right now, they were not 4.3 athletes at the combine. They were not the biggest and the fastest. But they're really tough. They run good routes, they're smart, they're reliable, they play through contact, and those are things that you could say about Makai Lemon, but I think you have to understand what some of the limitations are. I do think you have to protect them off the line of scrimmage a little bit, but in an offense like this, I think he'd be a good fit.
If you did not watch our wide receiver preview last week, this class in particular, the profiles of the wide receivers who are going to go in the first 2 rounds is leaving you wanting relative to other draft classes, right?
Yeah.
A bunch of these guys, Carnell Tate, Omar Cooper, Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, Chris Bell, never had 1,000 yards in college. Some of them are older as well. Makai Lemon, as you say, Fran, he sort of just barely checks those boxes. He is coming out as a true junior.
Yep.
But 5'11", 194, you would want him to be a little bit faster than the 4.5 40 that he ran. But he was productive. And I think the right way to think about this class is if you're using a first-round pick, unlike normal years when you think a guy could be your star number 1 wideout, you're kind of just hoping for a number 2 guy who can be a starter.
A note from Fran's draft guide I really enjoyed that I want to share here. So a list of receivers with both 3 or more career yards per route run or higher and measurements under 6 foot, 200 pounds. Marquise Brown, Jalen Waddle, Richie James, John Ross, Dwayne Eskridge, Tylan Wallace, and Carlos Henderson.
The 2 Eagles on there, though.
The guys that hit, though, were dynamic speed guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that was where I kind of got hung up. Now, it doesn't mean that he's not going to hit. It does not mean that Makai Lemon's got no shot. What it means is that he's got a tight needle to thread, and he would be against the grain. He'd be a little bit of an outlier. It's not to say that it can't happen, but that would be the concern.
And obviously, the reason that the Eagles could potentially be interested in a wide receiver that early is the expectation that A.J. Brown is going to be traded after June 1st. How much do you think that is a fait accompli in the draft room, and Howie Roseman knows exactly what to expect in terms of A.J. on or off the roster and what the compensation is going to be like?
I think he has a very good feeling on what to expect in terms of whether he will be on or off the roster. I honestly think he probably has a good idea of what the compensation is going to be like. I think this is the type of thing where you can kind of go into draft weekend knowing what you are going to have in your war chest for the 2027 and maybe 2028 draft room or in draft capital. So I think it will influence the moves that they're willing to make. I don't know if I'd go so far as saying I'd expect them to use premium picks from their 2027 or 28 capital, because there's a lot of volatility going into next season. Yeah. So I'm not saying that they're going to trade a 2027 first, but I do think knowing that you have draft compensation coming back in an A.J. Brown trade, or feeling good about that, influences the moves you make. The Eagles already have a lot of picks in this year's draft, so because of that, I think that they can be aggressive in what they want to do this weekend.
The unknown of the Sean Mannion offense and what it is that they want from the pieces who are going to be receivers and running backs and tight ends is interesting here. And if we presume A.J. Brown is gone, that leaves you with DeVonta Smith, Dontavian Wicks, Hollywood Brown. Those are the top three guys on the roster. If you're like me, you like Darius Cooper a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking about what kind of type you would want to add to that group, Fran, what stands out to you? Because it's interesting, the guys who they've brought in for pre-draft visits are all tall, fast guys.
Yeah.
Lemon is not that.
Lemon, yep.
Is that what you think they would want to add, or how does that picture look to you?
To me, I think especially because of the length of contracts for some of these guys, like I think that all options are open.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't think that they are necessarily locked in. I do think that it is informative, though, that a number of the guys they brought in are guys that have size, and I think it's more about the mentality and the type of player they're looking for.
Okay.
So even looking at Dontavian Wicks, he's a bigger body, can do some of the dirty work, will get his face in it, his hands dirty in the run game as a blocker. So to me, when I look at guys like DeZon Stribling from Ole Miss, and, some of these guys that they've brought in, and players that I think, the Makai Fields from Notre Dame, I think could be of interest for them. Those are guys that I think that kind of have that same skill set.
All right, good conversation. Time to take our next break here as the pick is in for the Las Vegas Raiders. We expect it to be Fernando Mendoza. Then we sort of get to everything else, because this is where we have the uncertainty of what is to come in the rest of the top 10. So stay with us here on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton. If you got a little achiness going on, you've been battling chronic pain, or maybe you just picked up a brand new injury, you don't have to be a hero, okay? Don't tough it out. Get it looked at by the experts at Rothman Orthopedics. These are the same specialists trusted across the region to treat everything from joint pain and back issues to sports injuries and fractures. Whether it's something that's lingered for months or something that happened this week, the good people at Rothman have you covered. The easiest way to get started, visit rothmanortho.com/PHLY. That's ROTHMANORTHO.com/PHLY, and schedule your appointment today. With the Rothman Fast Scheduler, you can connect with their VIP scheduling specialists for your specific issue, saving time and getting you on the path to recovery faster. And don't forget about Rothman Now, a convenient way to access expert virtual orthopedic care when you need answers promptly with guidance from the same trusted team. Stop living with pain. Go to rothmanortho.com/PHLY and book today. Chickies and Pete's, voted the #1 sports bar in America by ESPN, and you know they're right here in the Delaware Valley. And if you are celebrating the draft tonight, or the draft is forcing you to drink, well, guess what? Chickies is a good place to come, because the warmer weather means it's time for a Chickies and Pete's tasty seasonal cocktail. Like Chickies Italian Ice Crush, a Just Peachy Very Berry Cherry Martini, or a non-alcoholic strawberry ginger lemonade. Maybe you'd prefer one of Chickies' signature cocktails instead, including the Flying Hawaiian, made with coconut rum, the Jack Mango Smash, the refreshing vanilla and orange creamsicle crush, or raspberry sangria or Patriot Punch. Perfect summer cocktails. Have them outside at Chickies, only at Chickies and Pete's. Locations and details at chickiesandpete's.com. Find out which of those wonderful cocktails is your favorite. Come to Chickies all over the Delaware Valley. All right, we're back in the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey. Appreciate everybody who is contributing to the big draft in our partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters. You can see the donation button there on YouTube. Fernando Mendoza it is. And now the draft starts. And we can give a little shout out to Lindsay's family, because we got to meet them all today.
Yes.
Very exciting. Yeah. Happy birthday, Peyton. That was awesome. 3 years old. Got to meet the whole family. Everybody here who watches the show knows Lindsay's a star.
Yeah.
Also meant we got to meet Mr. Lindsay.
Yes.
The state championship winning coach. He's got some thoughts on what he wants the Jets to do. What do you think is going to happen?
I think he's going to get his wish. He wants Texas Tech edge rusher David Bailey, and I do think that that's where the Jets are going to go. Now, this pick has been very much up in the air.
Yeah, people are very sure it's going one way or the other, and then they sort of change their minds the next day.
They flip and they flop, they snip and they snap, and they snip and they snap. I think at the end of the day, basically what happened is that the consensus was all pointing towards Ohio State front seven player, linebacker, edge rusher, Arvell Reese. And then early April, the winds, the whispers in the wind started to change a little bit, pointing to David Bailey from Texas Tech. Now, both guys, in their most realized forms, are undersized speed rushers, guys that are going to get after quarterbacks with their athleticism, their first step. David Bailey has done it at a high level, at least this past year, at the college level. But Arvell Reese has never really done it, so it's more of a projection. And so, with Aaron Glenn a little bit on the hot seat, what is that going to look like for him down the road? You want to take the more sure thing. I think it's going to be David Bailey. A lot of the local writers think it's going to be Arvell Reese. A lot of the national people think it's going to be David Bailey. It's going to be interesting to see what ends up happening here.
I believe the pick is in.
I believe the pick is in, Fran, and it is Texas Tech edge rusher.
It's David Bailey. There we go.
David Bailey, the number 4 overall player on your board, Fran, 6'3", 251. He is a little bit more experienced than Arvell Reese, and he's also played the position. But still some questions about how much he can contribute on early downs, but real pass rush upside.
Yeah, I mean, he was a role player at Stanford for 3 years. Like, designated pass rusher. Was not a starter on a bad team. So, and I would also say that Stanford didn't. Yeah, I mean, Stanford didn't speak highly of him when he left either. And so it was one of those things where this was not a sure
Andrew
profile
Luck
to
just
bet on.
crushing the guy.
I'm not going to say it was Andrew Luck. Don't try and guess the source.
I couldn't even get on the field.
But he goes to Texas Tech this year. Was better against the run, a little bit better. It wasn't great, but a little bit better. And was just dynamic as a rusher. He's got a fully fleshed out pass rush plan. He can win with speed. He can win inside. There's a lot to like about the rusher, but an ideal world, he goes a little bit later and not at number 2, but this is the draft that we're dealing with. I do think this pick makes sense. To me, this would have been the pick that I would have made if I was Darren Mooney.
It's a bit of a safer pick for a team that is already worried about job security.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
And now we get to a pivot point.
Still upside with David Bailey.
Yeah, that's true. We get to a pivot point now with the Cardinals because every expectation is they would like to move down, right, Fran? There's a thought that if they stay put, they could just take Jeremiyah Love, the running back from Notre Dame.
Correct.
Could they pull the trigger on Arvell Reese from Ohio State? Any other options there? What are you sort of feeling?
No, I think that in an ideal world, they'd like to be able to move down. If they move down, I would keep an eye on Francis Mauigoa. If they stay put, I think it'll be Jeremiyah Love. Now,
crazy to me.
Which not what I would do. And with where they're at with their team build, but it's a new coaching staff. My understanding is that it's probably ownership that is kind of getting involved there.
Well, at least that's a good ownership group. At least they know what they're doing.
I think at the end of the day, that the argument that is being made, from what I understand, is that if you're telling me that he is the best player, if we're staying here, take the best player.
Yeah.
I get it from that angle of it, but I don't know that it would be me.
It surprises me a little bit because that is an owner who is so notoriously cheap. You would think that the idea of drafting a running back at 3 and making him the highest paid running back in the NFL because of that contract would not really make sense to him.
That is outrageous.
But, maybe he hasn't remembered to clean the carpets in the cafeteria yet. So,
to me, what's really interesting about it is that the hit rate on running backs this high in the draft has turned into we've been pretty good at being able to predict this guy's going to be good. But at the end of the day, are you going to get the impact that you want?
Right, that's exactly
from that
right.
Talent?
It's a perfect thing because they've all been really good, and the teams haven't mattered at all.
Yes.
The Giants get Saquon Barkley. They make one playoff appearance in his 6 years there.
Yeah.
Falcons get Bijan Robinson, and he's awesome. Haven't been to the playoffs.
Yep.
Right? If you're a bad team and you get an awesome running back, So what?
Ashton Jeanty was great on film and had was running into backs of offensive linemen all season long.
Crab fries here, fantastic.
And for that reason, if you're an Eagles fan, you're probably hoping that the Cardinals do trade out here because you want Jeremiyah Love to remain on the board for the Giants.
Well, and that's the thing, is that if you're exactly right, if Jeremiyah Love does not go here, a lot of people felt like he was going to go number 4 to Tennessee.
Yeah.
The late whispers have pointed to that not being the case, and my source in Tennessee has said that's not going to be the case, that they will go front 7 there. So if it is not Jeremiyah Love here,
big source flex.
I think he falls to number 5, and I think he falls to the New York Giants, and they will take Jeremiyah Love.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
I think Eagles fans would take that too. I mean, he's a great player, really fun player to watch. But from a
one of your favorite players
that
you've evaluated in recent years.
And he's to me, I have a higher. I feel better about him than I felt about Jeanty last year, and I really like Jeanty a lot. He's dynamic. He's a pass catcher. He's a good blocker. He's tough, high character. He's a phenomenal player.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now, do you think there's a chance that some of these offensive linemen come off the board a little bit earlier than expected? Could Arizona, instead of moving down, just take a guy like Mauigoa?
They could, and I think it would be that would be very telling, considering what we all think the conversations are in that room. I do think Monty Ossenfort, the GM for Arizona, he's got to be feeling the heat. They Jonathan Gannon. It's going to be interesting to see how much rope he's got.
What do you think the vibe is like in the Eagles draft room right now, EJ?
I'm sure I'm sure it's always tense, but I don't know if it's really picked up yet. This is probably
I feel like this is like they all realize that this is like just before the storm.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
there's a little bit. They're all there, maybe texting people around the league, trying to get a little bit of a heads up on what might be happening, but
they're probably rooting for Jeremiyah Love to make it past number 3. I think that's probably where their head is at right now.
Now, Fran, if the Cardinals stay here and make a pick, you're going to pop off and join our friends
in a little
bit.
PHLX. Yeah, I'll let them hash it out, and then I'll jump on.
Okay. So we got some time. We'll bring Brandon Lee Gowton on when you do that. I was going to see if there are any other predictions you have for the few picks after that.
All right, so let's talk through it a little bit. So we'll wait to see what exactly happens here. Yeah. But my understanding, again, is that if Jeremiyah Love goes here, then I think what you have next is you'll have Sonny Styles, the linebacker from Ohio State, go to the Tennessee Titans.
Great name.
A phenomenal name. So Sonny Styles goes number 4 to Tennessee, and then the Giants will be that will be very interesting. If Love is not there, some think it's going to be Caleb Downs. I have a sneaky suspicion that might be an offensive lineman.
Okay.
Some think it might be. All right, I've got the pick.
He's got the pick. He's
got the pick.
Jeremiyah Love.
Really?
Oh, man.
Wow.
Jeremiyah Love is going to be a Cardinal.
The Arizona Cardinals are using the number 3 overall pick on really exciting prospect, running back Jeremiyah Love, thereby making him the highest paid running back in the NFL.
Here's the thing, and this is the problem when you take a guy this high. He has to be Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey. He has to be that tier. He has to be Jahmyr Gibbs. He can't be the 9th best running back. He can't be the 11th best or the 7th best. He has to be a top 3 running back for this to make sense.
He is also going to take a pounding before they ever matter. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. Even if he is that good, it's not going to move the needle as much as it seems like a bad.
I feel bad for him
decision
because he's so fun to watch. He's such a good player, and he's now going to the wasteland.
Yeah.
That is a poorly run franchise.
Yep.
Makes you feel good about the Eagles.
Yeah, if you're an Eagles fan, you're still sitting back and laughing.
You should feel very grateful that you have Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman stewarding this franchise and not doing things like that.
Yeah, I'm not shocked at this outcome because I've had a couple weeks to prepare for it, but here's what it was. Okay, for the last couple of days in the mock draft I did last week, I had the Chiefs trading up for Arvell Reese.
Yeah.
Having conversations with people, it was like, no, the Chiefs want both of those ones. They want both of those ones. They want to take 2 players tonight. So I said, all right, well, if they can't do that, I don't know if there's anybody else. I had heard yesterday, maybe the Saints, and there was Dale Jeremiyah put that out last night. Look for the Saints to maybe trade up. I think the teams are worried about moving up that far.
Yeah.
So now, and this will be interesting, I think the Giants might be a spot. So what we've seen now is that, like I said, I think this is going to be Sonny Styles going to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't know that Arvell Reese is a fit for Robert Saleh as a defensive end. So to me, I think that they're going to take Sonny Styles. That drops Arvell Reese to New York.
Yeah.
We've seen Peter Schrager and Tony Pauline both mock Arvell Reese to the New York Giants. Both two national reporters, New York roots, New York base. To me, that's smoke from the Jets, or from the Giants. I think they're trying to put out that they would take Arvell Reese and they're trying to stir the pot for somebody to try and trade up. I think it's more likely that the Chiefs try and trade up here for Arvell Reese. Maybe the Saints try and trade up here being number five with the Giants, and then the Giants move back to number 9 or number 8.
Now, Arvell Reese is the number 3 player on your board. You like him a lot. It is a difficult projection because he didn't get to play on the edge that much. It's a handful of snaps that you're evaluating. What's the system that you would like to see him go to?
Look, he's high on my board. I do not feel good about it. I would be very scared to take Arvell Reese because to me, you are only taking him this high if you think he's going to become an impact edge rusher. And it's just not what he was asked to do. He wasn't asked to practice as an edge rusher. He didn't play as an edge rusher very often. When he did line up off the edge, he was asked to drop. He was asked to play the run, to quarterback spy, to loop inside on a stunt. You're talking like 100 snaps maybe where he just went one-on-one against the tackle in the entire season in a 14-game schedule for Ohio State. It's not a lot. So it's a big projection. That's a tough one. So for me, I think there are a lot of teams that could use this skill set. And that's the thing. Whoever takes him is going to say, he's going to fit in our defense. We've got a plan. I think a lot of teams can use Arvell Reese. But that flexibility alone is not worth the number 4 pick, the number 5 pick, the number 7 pick. So it's going to be, he's got to be a pass rusher for it to pay off.
This is a conversation we've had in the past, and it is the theory of the versatile guy.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, it is much better in theory than in practice because when it comes to the game plan during the week, putting things together, the coaching staff is not going to take extra time out to put together a bespoke plan for Arvell Reese or whoever it is. He's going to have to major in a position. And so I think you want to put him on the edge and hope that he works there and develop him that way. But the idea of having him do both and you've got this chess piece that you can move all over, it takes a special kind of coach to make that happen, and it is rare.
It takes a special player, too.
Yeah, that's true.
And to become that special player, you have to have a home in the first place. So, it's a tough projection, and it's already a crowded edge room in New York, so it'd be interesting. I think if you're from an Eagles perspective, you probably wouldn't want a player with that upside going to New York, but again, it's not a clean projection for Arvell Reese.
People have talked about it again. Tony and Peter Schrager have both mocked that, and people have talked about Arvell Reese fitting in the John Harbaugh defense. Denard Wilson is the defense coordinator. I'm sorry, they don't use guys that way. The only guy that I've seen them use that way is Malik Harrison, and I'm like, you can't take that role that high. It doesn't make sense in that defense. And I don't think Robert Saleh, they want explosiveness, and he's certainly explosive, but they want length too. And he's not a long edge rusher. So that's why I do think this will end up being Styles over Reese. I don't think the Giants will take him. So now, are the Giants able to get a deal? And if not, he's on the board to Cleveland. Does he keep falling, or does somebody move up? It's going to be very interesting. Cleveland's dying for the Giants not to be able to get a deal done, because then you might be able to get somebody to move up for him if you're Cleveland at 6.
The pick is in for the Titans. While we wait on that, EJ, we have some super chats. Tell us about what we got.
All right, so we've got one from Junior Player 7 here. Did you think the Dick Hill draft pick trade value is the chart most used by teams? Do the Eagles use it? Fran, I don't care what Zach Berman says. You're my favorite draft analyst.
Teams have their own.
Teams have their own. Yeah. Yes, teams have their own. I got the Titans pick.
All right.
It's Carnell Tate.
Really?
Wide receiver from Ohio State.
Wow, an early surprise.
Yeah. So there were some early rumblings that there was going to be a weapon, and that was talking to Jeremiyah Love.
You used the number 1 overall pick on Cam Ward. You got to do something to help him. Go ahead.
It's interesting, though, that they ended up going with Tate. Man, that's... Here, I really like Carnell Tate, wide receiver from Ohio State, high floor player.
Number 9 player overall on your board.
Tough, good hands. He's a solid route runner. He can win at every level. He's got the ability to create his own separation. I like his ability to go up and win at the catch point. He's not dynamic. He's not going to be a great playmaker with the ball in his hands. People question the 40 time. He's not that guy. But I do think this is a guy that can create space for himself. The thing is that when I watch him, I never watch him and think, high-end number 1 receiver. I think he could be a really good number 2, like a really good number 2. Like maybe he becomes like T. Higgins. Like maybe he gets to that tier. You take him this high, like this is higher than Jamar Chase went. But again, someone's got to go. You got to take somebody in this draft. But man, Carnell Tate going. Ironically enough, my comp for him was Corey Davis, who was a top 5 pick by the Titans back in 2013.
Now, we've talked about the buckets. We'll give you the buckets on Carnell Tate one more time. Because Carnell Tate is 21, a true junior coming out. Never had a 1,000-yard season.
Yep.
Which you understand. You can explain it away because he's playing next to Jeremiyah Smith, who's probably the best wide receiver in college football. You can understand that. Runs a 4.53 at 6'2", 192. So he's not super fast, not explosive. So those three things: young, fast, productive. He only is young. Guys in the first 2 rounds who have been drafted who only hit that one bucket over the past 12 years, there's only 2 guys, and they were both second-round picks. One is Keon Coleman, much bigger player, obviously didn't hit. The other is Michael Thomas. Now, Michael Thomas is a different kind of player, but it's from Ohio State where they have those sort of production issues and have in the past. I mean, like you're saying, this is a pick that is much more about we just have to do whatever we can to help Cam Ward, our quarterback who we used the number 1 overall pick on, then this guy is a wide receiver worth the number 4 overall pick.
I mentioned that Tate was talked about to the Titans early on in the process. I canvassed 75 mock drafts over the course of draft season. All right, so from the top insiders, top reporters, whole deal.
I will tell you what you're going to say in just a second. We got to take a quick TV break for the people watching on Fast. If you're watching on your TV, join us in a couple minutes, 2 minutes. For those of you on YouTube, stay with us. All right, go ahead, Fran.
75 mock drafts. Only 4 of them had Carnell Tate. We haven't had one since January 30th. So since before the Combine, we have not seen one of these key mock drafts have Carnell Tate go to Titans. So props to them.
Good job by them.
Yeah, good job by them keeping a lid on it. Really, really good job by them.
And you are, people who follow you will know that you often say that those early mock drafts are actually often better predictors.
Yeah, it's sometimes the best information is the early information. And again, sometimes you have to kind of read through what are some of the people saying, and a lot of it early on was, let's go with the we're going to follow it's going to be a weapon for Tennessee. I think the pick is in for the Giants, by the way.
Ooh. You have it? He's got it. Oh, Fran's breaking things left and right.
Any guesses?
Well, the look on your face makes me think.
I set this one out.
Okay. I'm going to say it's Caleb Downs. I'm going to say they go crazy and just take the guy who is the top player on their board. No?
The right school.
Oh, so they're going Arvell Reese.
They're going Arvell Reese.
Okay.
So my guess is this is going to get followed by a Kayvon Thibodeau trade.
Yeah.
Thibodeau gets traded tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
This is surprising. I would not have expected this. I didn't expect it, obviously. I thought it was smoke. But you take Arvell Reese with Abdul Carter and Brian Burns. It's a lot of speed in your pressure package.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see how they talk about Arvell Reese fitting in this defense. Taking him, if you're going to grade him as linebackers, Sonny Styles is a world's better as a linebacker right now.
Absolutely.
It's fascinating.
Well, let's talk about this strictly from an Eagles perspective.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, it kind of underscores how important it is for them to find a tackle. Because right now, you're well-suited to handle 3 awesome edge rushers because you've got Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson. But Lane Johnson's not going to be here forever.
Yep.
You got to be prepared for that. Do you think that, what do you think Howie Roseman's reaction is to this pick?
Sorry, we've got a trade.
Okay.
The Chiefs are on the clock at 6.
Oh.
Now,
you were right about that, yeah. Oh, but I wonder who they're moving up for, because you would have thought that it would be Reese. Would they want Sonny Styles?
I don't know if it's for Tyson. It could be for Tyson.
So an early one.
Could be for Tyson. Could be for a tackle. Could
be for their choice of tackle.
Could be for their choice of tackle. Again, they've been connected to Spencer Fano.
Okay. And moving up 3 spots probably doesn't require their other first-round pick,
definitely not.
so that's okay for them.
Keep an eye on the compensation.
Okay.
I think Howie Roseman's reaction to this pick is probably upset that the Giants used it on a premium position because I don't think that was a given going into this draft. And to your point, I think the way that the Eagles have used their tackles over for more than a decade at this point, they've put those tackles on islands. They don't give them a lot of help. They don't give them a lot of chip help from the running backs and the tight ends. And you'll often hear from people that that's like structural to the way that they operate on offense. So for me, the Giants loading up at edge rusher, it puts even more of an onus on them finding that right tackle successor. I've moved on from calling it the Lane Johnson successor. I think that probably is too lofty a title for anyone they draft, even if they draft somebody in the first round. But again, it does put more onus on them trying to find this tackle of the future that really they've been looking for years at this point.
All right, while we wait to find out what it is that the Chiefs are doing, let's take our next break here on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show from the Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey. Join us. Much more to come on the other side, closing in on the Eagles pick. We know how exciting this week has been at PHLY. We've got the Sixers making surprising noise against the Celtics. We've got the Flyers flying high, winning the first 3 games against the Steelers, and now we've got NFL Draft Weekend, and it's sometimes hard to keep up with. All the sports. How could you keep up with them all? Well, you can do it at Chickies and Pete's, voted #1 sports bar in America by ESPN, and they are right here in the Delaware Valley. It's the best sports bar and crab house on the planet, and it's the best place to watch playoff action, and it's the best in-game experience. Check this out. Every Friday from 4 to 6 p.m., Chickies and Pete's has ice-cold dollar drafts of Miller Lite for just $1. That's 4 to 6 on Fridays. Yes, ice-cold dollar drafts only from Chickies and Pete's every Friday. Restrictions apply. Visit chickiesandpete's.com for locations and more information. Tell them PHLY sent you. Fellas, listen up. Mother's Day coming up. And, you could get flowers. You should get flowers. But don't just get flowers. Upgrade from that. And you know how you're going to do it? With Aura Frames, the #1 rated gift in the game. It's free unlimited storage. It's preloading photos before it ships. You personalize your gift. There's a gift box included. You can share your photos and videos effortlessly. It is something that is not just a great gift presentation, but it's something that you can continue updating as time goes on. There's nothing better. Make Mother's Day special with Aura Frames, named #1 by Wirecutter. You can save on the gifts mom loves by visiting auraframes.com. That's AURA frames.com for a limited time. Listeners can get $25 off their best-selling Carver matte frame with code PHLY. That's AURAframes.com, promo code PHLY. Terms and conditions apply. Yep. Wow.
Man.
We are back on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show live from the Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey. And we have the pick for the Chiefs, and it's a very interesting one. So we will make that our ice-cold moment, presented by the good folks at Rita's. Check out Rita's. Today, Fran moving up 3 spots for
LSU corner Mansoor Delane.
Interesting.
So I had heard Chiefs with Delane, but I didn't think it was going to be trade up. I thought that would be an option if they stuck at 9 or if they moved back.
To trade McDuffie and then use a premium pick on a corner is very interesting.
Especially given the fact that, I know Delane tested well, but to me, McDuffie is a better athlete.
Yeah.
More versatility. This is a little surprising for me. I
look
like
forward
Delane.
to listening to Anthony's show soon to find out what the Spags take on this is. But
I'm sure Spags signed off on it.
No doubt.
I think that look, I like Delane. He was I think in my top 25, but I was lower on him than basically anybody in the media space, and obviously lower on him than the Chiefs were to take him this high. I did not quite see him as that level of physical specimen to be like a pure outside every down #1 corner. I thought complimentary piece, a starter, but not that guy in the secondary.
And they felt like they had to move ahead of the Commanders?
Commanders have been it's receiver and corner for Washington.
Okay.
So to make sure they could get ahead of them, they wanted to make sure they got Delane.
This is one of those early tackle teams that went with a different position.
This is a good thing for the Eagles. I think the Eagles draft room is very happy about this.
Yep.
So now what this does, the run starts a little bit later. And one of the iterations of the final mock draft that I was doing last night was the tackle run not starting until I got to 11.
Okay.
That's on the table now. It's in play. So Cleveland at 9, I do think will take a tackle, but that's a good thing for the Eagles that it would start this late.
Is that the next thing you're rooting for as an Eagles fan? Is Cleveland going with maybe Fano, I guess, to take?
Well, Freeling, if you don't want Freeling.
If you don't want Freeling,
yes.
yeah.
Well,
We
might not.
For. Yeah.
They've been
Doctor
rumored,
and the yoga instructor.
Cleveland has been rumored to like Proctor and Freeling.
Yeah.
So if you move down, but are you still going to take them ahead of the other guys? That's the question.
Yeah. Would you take Proctor over Fano? That's a tough one. Yeah.
So that puts the Commanders on the clock at number 7. Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, the consensus best players available, Fran's best players available, but at non-premium positions.
Yeah.
You wonder if this is, do we see the premium positions go, or does it sort of continue to go this way? It's going to be very interesting.
That's going to be the nature of this first
Could
round.
they go wide receiver? Could they go Jordan Tyson?
Yeah.
Washington? Yes, definitely. I had heard. The way I heard it was Tate over Tyson.
Okay.
So Tate's obviously off the board. Now the question becomes, do they? Because the other player that has been often linked with them is Sonny Styles. And it was like, Sonny Styles is going to be Washington. Dan Quinn. There are some analysts out there that are like dead set he is absolutely going to Washington if he falls to 7. I don't know that I'd go that far, but with how the board's played out, it's definitely on the table.
The ice cold moment here of the Chiefs. I'm very surprised by Andy Reid here.
Odd process for sure. Yeah.
Because I really would have thought, because the DNA shared with Howie Roseman of premium picks being used on premium positions. I know the corner is a premium position, but 9 overall and then moving up 3 spots for Delane.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised by that. I would have thought, if not offensive line, fastball off the edge all day long.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
I thought if they're going to move up, it would have been for Reese, was my guess. The fact they moved up for Delane is very surprising.
All right, let's close the book on the ice cold moment presented by our good friends at Rita's. Good to see Kim from Rita's here. Now, we actually made a big
She's
move.
Kim from
We scooped
PHLY.
her up.
I feel like I got to defend her here.
If you are looking to advertise on PHLY, reach out to Kim from PHLY.
Yeah. But she can be Kim from Rita's. She could be Kim from...
I think canonically in the show, she's Kim from Rita's and always will be.
That's fair. Yeah.
But and you can see her behind us, I believe. But
there she is.
Kim from PHLY.
Shout out to
for
Kim.
the real heads.
Yeah.
All right, Commanders on the clock. What do you think Howie's rooting for here?
I think Howie's
You
probably
think he'd be fine with Sonny Styles?
Yeah, I think he's rooting for Sonny Styles. I think he'd be rooting for a non-premium position and a position that doesn't impact the players that will be high on the Eagles board. So I think that's probably avoiding receiver and definitely avoiding. I don't think they're really in play for offensive line, but definitely avoiding offensive line.
Well, I was going to say, one wild card I have heard with Washington over the last couple of weeks was Venga Ioane.
Oh, okay.
So that would be another one where
the guard from Penn State.
Yes, the guard from Penn State. Thank you. My gut tells me that this is either Tyson or Styles. Could be Downs. They've been linked to Downs. New defensive coordinator Durante Jones comes from Brian Flores. That's a safety-driven scheme. He could kind of be that hybrid player for them. I got the pick.
Oh,
Styles. So Sonny Styles, linebacker from Ohio State, becomes a Washington Commander, newest member of the NFC East. He's got it all. He's a great player. He's big, he's long, he's athletic, high character, clean medical, converted safety, moves. He's got unique movement for the linebacker position. This is an every down player, a guy that's going to wear the green dot. He's a great fit schematically. It's a good pick.
Still one I think the Eagles feel good about.
It's still an off-ball linebacker.
Yeah, an off-ball linebacker in the top 10. As awesome as he may be. Yeah.
Kim from Rita's very happy over there for a shout-out. Now that he's still available, who's going to take Caleb Downs? Do you think he doesn't get past the Cowboys?
No, I don't think he gets past the Cowboys.
Okay. Do you think that Howie would be interested in going up big for Caleb Downs?
I don't think so. That would surprise me.
Yeah, big. It's hard to envision them moving up that
big,
much.
Yeah.
But if he falls outside the top, let's call it top 12, which would be getting past Dallas, I could see it. I wouldn't put a lot of turkeys on it. I wouldn't put a lot of percentage points for those who are new to the show. But I think I could see Caleb Downs being the type of player, like I said, that sticks out on the board. They have a needed safety.
Yeah, they certainly do. I think there's a chance. He would have to get a little bit further, I think.
Yeah.
But there's a Jihaad Campbell situation where he stands out as very clearly a significant tier above the other options available.
I'm going to jump off for a few.
Okay.
Join our friends at PHNX. Predictions here for the next few.
Ooh, I like it.
So we've got
You
New
got
Orleans
the
on the
Saints
clock.
at 8.
I would be very surprised if this is not Jordan Tyson. I think this will be the receiver from Arizona State here at number 8.
Browns at 9.
Browns at 9. I'm going to guess is Fano. That's who they've been linked in most. But to me, it's definitely tackle. It's a matter of which one. I think it'll be Fano.
And then Giants at 10.
Giants at 10.
Feels like a down spot.
Tyson
maybe?
off the board. I think that's Downs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep an eye on Dallas trying to jump in to get ahead of that.
Maybe Cleveland goes down again. They will still be able to get a tackle.
Yes.
At 12.
If the Giants don't take Downs, I'd look at Ioane.
Okay.
I think Ioane would be a Giant.
Okay. We're going to make a shift change and bring in Brandon Lee Gowton to join us. Let's use this to take our next break here to let us reset. Back on the other side in 2 minutes. Brandon Lee Gowton of Bleeding Green Nation joins us. Going to talk about what the Eagles have coming up here on NFL Draft Night 1 from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton.
The Fanatics app is the all-in-one destination for every part of your sports fandom. You can get official gear from your favorite teams and players, including the latest drops, exclusive releases, and must-have merch all in one place. Playoff time is heating up for the Sixers and the Flyers in the next few weeks. Now is the perfect time to get some new gear. It's also more than just shopping. You can play free daily games in the app to earn fan cash, which you can spend on jerseys, game tickets, collectibles, and much, much more. Imagine scoring some Sixers playoff tickets or getting a new Flyers jersey just by playing the free daily game in the app. It's all in one place, and it's built for fans like you. So download the Fanatics app today and start cashing in on your fandom. App access open to all, 21 and over to play. No purchase necessary. U.S. only. Void where prohibited.
All right, quick timeout from the draft, 60 seconds, because we've got to talk about our friends at Elkins Chevrolet. Because as we are breaking down all the picks that are happening tonight, teams are looking for the right deal to make to move up or down. You also are probably hunting for the right deal, and you can do it at Elkins Chevrolet with their Trade Up event happening right now. This is where you get to make the smart move, looking at what you've got and figuring out what you need. Look at your options, then step up and save. Whether it's a new Silverado, an SUV, or maybe a pre-owned vehicle, this is your time to take the pick, make the trade, and upgrade your ride. Then you come out ahead big time. Should have made that move when it was right in front of me. Didn't do it. Now I regret it. Don't live like that. Go to Elkins Chevrolet and take your car to the next level at the trade-up event going on now at Elkins Chevrolet. What do they have at Elkins Chevrolet? They've got real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honking good service. That's right, Elkins Chevrolet on Route 73 South in Marlton. Back in the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, Night 1, live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey. Bo Wulf, E.J. Smith. No Fran Duffy. He is on with our friends at PHNX right now talking about their first-round pick. And so what a luxury for us to be able to bring in now Brandon Lee Gowton of Bleeding Green Nation, BLG. You look great. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I went no tie, Donovan McNabb style. Because, I'm a vlogger ultimately, so I had to dress down just a tiny bit.
Okay.
But glad to be here with you guys.
Great to see you. What do you make of what we've seen so far tonight?
There was a lot of talk that it wasn't going to be necessarily a chalk draft, and things were going to get weird. I think it's already gotten a little bit weird so far.
A little bit interesting. Now, Fran, before he left, made a prediction about the Saints pick, and he was correct.
Yep, the
Jordan
pick is
Tyson
in.
is the wide receiver from Arizona State, who you don't love, EJ, but
I just didn't see a
he's
top
got real
10.
upside, I think.
I didn't see a top 10 receiver when I watched him, but I think he's a fun player. He's a very dramatic route runner. There's a lot of creativity in the way that he runs, where he runs his routes, and I certainly see the upside. But he's missed almost half of his games, and that to me is a pretty big red flag for a player that you're using a top 10 pick on. But it doesn't surprise me to see him go this early because I do agree that he has real upside.
All right, so BLG, let's talk birds here.
Absolutely.
What would you like to see them do?
What would I like to see? That's hard to separate sometimes from what I think is going to happen. But in this case, I think it's pretty similar. Okay. I think this is a eat your vegetables kind of draft for the Eagles. With all due respect to vegetables.
But vegetables can be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Favorite vegetable?
Does a potato count? That feels like that doesn't count.
Not for these purposes.
I'm going to say, you know what? I like a roasted asparagus. How about that?
Okay.
I like a roasted broccoli.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, put those vegetables on the grill. You're cooking.
Oh, yeah.
What are you going
having
with?
a great time. I think broccoli is probably my favorite, although carrots I'm happy about. All kinds of grilled veggies I'm in on.
How about
I'm even in on a roasted Brussels sprout.
I would say Brussels sprouts feel like kind of cheating because you can make them really
well, you
rich.
can, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
Spinach in a smoothie I'm happy about. Well, does that count?
You're throwing a lot of spinach in that bad boy.
You could not throw enough spinach and still
spinach.
You wouldn't take it. You wouldn't taste it. Yeah. Fantastic.
So the Eagles are going to take their vegetables, their Brussels sprouts and broccoli here.
Absolutely. I do think offensive tackle, this is the place to get them. You can't rely on getting one necessarily in free agency. Also, just from a standpoint of the Eagles' offensive line was bad last year, and they need to fortify that. They've been at their best when they've had a strong offensive line. That's the direction I think they should go.
Okay, and how much would be too much for Howie Roseman to give up in a move up, you think?
How far are we moving?
Like, in terms of price, what would you be like, ooh, that seems like a lot?
Obviously, you don't want to dip into next year. That would be,
right.
I think, the point of your.
And they've got a second and 2/3.
Yeah.
Would you be okay if they traded a 2 and a 3?
I think that's a little rich.
Okay.
I think we're looking at, I think I saw today that Howie Roseman has never moved up more than 3 spots on draft day itself.
Yep.
Obviously, the Carson
Wentz trade. It's not to say he hasn't
Because
tried.
I really do
though.
think that is when you start to pay a prohibitive price.
Right.
So I don't know. I think he is. So far, no offensive linemen have been drafted, and so I think they are. Howie's like looking around the room. He's like, nobody move.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to change the juju. This is like when you're watching your team play and you're like, you got to stick in your favorite seat. Nobody gets up to pee right now. We are on a run.
Yeah.
I think Howie's like, nobody move. We got to keep this going. No offensive linemen have been drafted yet. Like, keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, everybody.
That seems surprising, too, based on what we were just seeing before the draft. It seemed like there could one that could go pretty early. The fact that they haven't, I would say, is a good sign. Again, knock on wood. Maybe I'm jinxing it here.
I think Cleveland, Fran's prediction for Cleveland is a tackle.
Yes.
Maybe they move back. And honestly, that would be good news for the Eagles. I think that's what you're rooting for if you're an Eagles fan, is them to move back out of the 9th spot and kind of prolong this run on offensive linemen. Yeah, if they're confident they can get one of those guys at 12.
Let's take a little minute to talk about those 4 tackles.
Yeah.
Who are sort of a tier above as far as we are concerned, and it seems to be as far as consensus is concerned. Francis Mauigoa from Miami, 6'5", 329, primarily a right tackle. He's Fran's number 3 guy, consensus top 2 guy. Nasty. He's got a bit of a minor injury thing that has popped up, but he seems like a safe projection. And I think a player the Eagles would be happy with. I expect that he will go early.
Yeah, I expect him to go earlier. The thing I really like about him, actually, sometimes you view the positional flex as a negative. Like maybe he has to play guard. I think this guy can play any of the 4 spots, and I think that is a really an enticing thing about him. And like you said, his play strength it jumps out when you watch him on tape. And I think that is sometimes an underrated aspect for some of these prospects. We get so caught up in their movement skills. And I love a dancing bear as much as anybody. But at the end of the day, we've seen, especially with the Eagles, the cautionary tale of an offensive tackle that can't anchor. And I don't think that Francis Mauigoa is a player that you're worried about that with, which is probably why he's going to go earlier than the Eagles' range really will allow them to get interested for him. But I do like him a lot as a prospect.
Fran gives him the Jedrick Wills comp in his scouting report.
Yeah.
And you've got Spencer Fano from Utah. They're right tackle for the last 2 years, but played left tackle as a true freshman, so you know that he can do both.
Yeah.
A little bit better athlete. He's Fran's top guy. Do you have an opinion on Spencer Fano, BLG, who gets the lighter Talisi Fuaga comp from Fran?
That was one that was connected to the Eagles once upon a time, leading up to that draft. I think that was a year where ultimately one of those things happened where I was talking about a run on offensive line going right before the Eagles picked, so we ultimately didn't get to see that there. He's a guy that, and I'd include Francis in there, that if he falls a little bit to the Eagles' range, then I'm not saying it's Andre Dillard all over.
No, but it does remind you of it.
But I'm wondering why that happened. And maybe it's just because the board worked that way, but I'm kind of questioning what made him fall that far, if he truly fell, because as we know, it could have been just a perceived value.
Speak of the devil.
Okay.
The Browns are taking Spencer Fano.
All right, so the Cleveland Browns
they
take the
start
first
the run.
offensive lineman of the night at number 9 overall, Spencer Fano from Utah. So now 3 guys left in that tier. Let's talk about the other 2.
A quick note on Fano, I wanted, because Eagles fans will appreciate this. I remember my former colleague Jeff McClain wrote a story about Jeff Stoutland breaking down tape of Lane Johnson, and he talked about how Lane Johnson looks like he's on a hoverboard. It feels like his feet are moving so fast that he's kind of floating above the ground. Spencer Fano has some of that to his game. So I like that pick for the Browns, and yeah, if you're an Eagles fan, you probably don't love that they started this run as much as it did feel like an eventuality.
I see over here you have the show up, and I see that total raising on the big draft. The money we're raising for Big Brothers Big Sisters already over $1,000.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome job by,
great work in the
by
chat.
everybody in the chat. That's fantastic. We appreciate that. Okay, the other 2 guys, Kadyn Proctor and Monroe Freeling, different types of players. Kadyn Proctor, 6'6", 352. Has been up as high as in the 390s throughout his career, but this is a 3-year starter at Alabama. Explosive testing results. The Eagles have dealt with a guy like Jordan Davis, who has had weight issues in the past.
Yeah.
It's something that they know how to handle. To me, he seems like the most Eagles guy. Do you have the same read, BLG?
I thought EJ had an interesting note on him when you had talked to, was it Howie or Nick?
Yeah, Howie and Nick during the pre-draft press conference.
When there's been concerns, I guess, about his quote-unquote football character, not necessarily getting into trouble off the field, but in terms of the drive, being able to do the work outside of the building. And that's interesting to me because I'm of the mind that you kind of want more of a self-starter. That's actually the term that Nick Saban used to describe what he is not. So that concerns me a little bit.
That was also when he was a true freshman.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's be fair.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just think it's important to, like Howie Roseman said in that press conference, I think it's important to remember, this kid is 21 years old. These guys are not the finished product by the time that they get to the organization. And it's funny because we talk a lot about the absence of Jeff Stoutland for the Eagles moving forward and whether or not they will be able to develop offensive linemen. The one thing I think is pretty indisputable when you look at the last few years of Eagles draft picks is that they have been able to develop human beings. You know, you think about Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, and for me, Kadyn Proctor is an example of that. Jordan Davis is a perfect comp where, yes, maybe they aren't the finished product in terms of staying in shape and becoming the best version of themselves athletically, but you kind of can bring them in the building, and this is really, again, where you can bet on the development staff that the Eagles have built and take a lot of pride into. So for me, I was a little bit slower to come around on Kadyn Proctor than you and Fran because I'm worried about the lateral quickness, the ability to get beat inside. But the more I watch him, the more I just feel like he is an Eagles type of player.
Aside from the weight stuff, in terms of a profile for a prospect, he checks everybody.
Yeah, former 5-star recruit. Unusual factors. That's another thing that's not going away. You know, that was a Jeff Stoutland thing. That is a Howie Roseman thing at this point. He played for Alabama, obviously, and it's not just
a lot of touch points.
It's not just exactly. It's not just the SEC. It's just not just the competition. It's the relationships that they have to that organization. Then it was funny. I think you asked Howie Roseman about the transfer portal era where guys play at different schools. And Howie Roseman kind of rebuffed the question because he said that they trust and lean on the relationships that they have in those college organizations. This is one that they know well.
Yes. You got something? Oh. Fran is shaking his phone. He has sent me a text to tell you that the New York Giants are not taking Caleb Downs. They are taking the next offensive lineman. The run has officially begun. Francis Mauigoa, the other tackle, goes off the board, and so now it's down to just Kadyn Proctor and Monroe Freeling.
If you're in the Eagles draft room right now, I think there's a murmur going across the room.
Somebody moved.
This is dissatisfaction.
Somebody went to the bathroom who shouldn't have gone to the bathroom.
That's what I'm going to be doing next ad break.
It was Nick.
You think Nick went to the bathroom?
Howie is furious.
I was about to say, this is the first pick that felt like it did not go the Eagles' way. We were worried about an early run on offensive tackles, and I think this might spark it.
Very interesting. So that means that the Dolphins, Cowboys, Rams are the next 3 on the clock. And as much as the Cowboys would love to get Caleb Downs, I think offensive line is not out of the possibility for them either. Nor the Rams, nor the Dolphins. So it could be the case where the Eagles had that glimmer of hope, and then all of a sudden it gets extinguished.
Yeah, I mean Caleb Downs in Dallas is an interesting fit with Christian Parker too. I could see them. I could see them shoehorning that.
BLG, this reminds me of like a Survivor trope. It's like through the first 9 picks, Howie Roseman goes to his confessional. He's like, I'm in a great spot, honestly.
The kiss of death.
The kiss of death. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 his torch is snuffed.
I think he's getting a little antsy seeing that. I think he's sitting there, and I think if they're going to move up, realistically speaking, I think we're talking about 15, 16.
Yeah.
I think that's where he's starting to try to, in terms of like I think that's a lot still, but I think in terms of the absolute realistic kind of range he can move up to. So I do think he's probably getting a little antsy. Just one thing on the Giants, I mean, the last time they took an edge rusher and an offensive tackle early in the, top 10 picks, I mean, that really worked out great. Not saying they're bad picks this year, but it is funny to be like, oh no, the Giants, they're back at it again.
Yeah, but I think that this is a better team build for them
for sure
than if they had gone luxury.
Yes.
Going Arvell Reese and Mauigoa, I think that probably does make Howie a little bit more like, okay, maybe this is going to be a team that we have to
the Giants got better in these last 2 picks. I think that these were honestly smarter picks than we expected them to make.
Yeah.
New era for the New York Giants. I think that they have operated differently than they would have in the past.
Now let's close the book on the top 4 because Proctor we talked about. How do you guys feel about Monroe Freeling from Georgia, who is a different type of profile, taller, leaner, 1+ years of starting experience? Some people think maybe higher upside, especially as a pass protector, but it's a little bit more of a leap of faith.
I was just going to use that word. Leap, especially if you're trading up for someone like that. That just feels like you're making a really big projection there. For getting him at 23, I'm willing to take that risk. I think that the upside could be worth it. But to make up a big move for that, I know, EJ, you've talked a lot about, you kind of don't see it with him.
Yeah, I mean, he started 16 games in his career, and the 16 games are chaotic. Because he is usually my kind of guy. 6'7", 315 pounds, long arms, young player. He's exactly the type of player that you feel good about for the Eagles because he doesn't have to play right away. But when you watch him at Georgia, I know he got better as the year went on. He's on the ground a lot. He doesn't he's not beating people up the way that you would expect at that size. Now, again, if you're the Eagles, you're betting on the fact that he does not need to play right away for you. You're basically giving him a redshirt year, work on the fundamentals, work on the technique. And Howie Roseman's talked so much about the value of having an iconic player like Lane Johnson, like Jason Kelce, like Fletcher Cox, who can show a young rookie the ropes. The Cam Jurgens, Jason Kelce example, Jordan Davis with Fletcher Cox. And I do think that there's value in that. So I think if you're bringing Monroe Freeling in, you are betting on that. Watching Lane Johnson with the helicopter feet, you're betting on that, washing over him for a season or two and really bringing him along and making him the player that you see when you look at the physical traits, the tools in his body. I think if the Eagles were to draft Monroe Freeling, that's what you'd hear Howie Roseman say at the press conference in a couple hours.
And I think we also should keep in mind that all of the process is educated guessing. And oftentimes not so educated guessing. The results bear it out. Teams across the NFL are not that great when it comes to drafting players. The Eagles are on an awesome heater over the past 4 years. But what matters to them is the knowledge. And for both of these players, Kadyn Proctor and Monroe Freeling, Alabama and Georgia, throughout the Eagles building, they have a ton of connections, obviously, to both programs. They will feel like they have a good bead on the person that they are evaluating for both of them.
Yeah, which is an important piece of context for both of these guys.
Now, a little YouTube thing going on here because, again, very grateful to everybody who is donating. We're up to over $1,300 raised for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Fantastic. Very proud of that. But I'm seeing like 1,500 people watching live and like 200 something likes. What are we doing? Hit the like button, people. Please.
Help us out. We'd appreciate it.
Come on. The thumb is right there. All right. How you guys feeling?
I'm feeling good. I like Nick Sirianni.
You need to pee.
I need a bathroom break. Okay. It's going to be a long weekend. You got to make sure you hydrate.
Let's give EJ a chance to drain the lizard. We will take a quick break here. Maybe make another line change. Stay with us on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show live from Chickens and Pizza Mall. 5 years from tonight, whoever it is the Eagles pick tonight, that person's going to be on the last year of their rookie deal. If they've had a good career, they could already be gone. So much can change in 5 years, but what you don't want to change is the price of your internet. That's where Xfinity comes in, because with Xfinity's 5-year price guarantee, you get reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi and you get to keep the same price for 5 years. How about that cost certainty? You know what I'm saying? All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Take it from me. A lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi stays reliable with Xfinity, and the price stays put. So lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Chickies and Pete's, we're here. And you know that Chickies and Pete's was voted the #1 sports bar in America by ESPN, and they are right here in the Delaware Valley. The best sports bar and crab house on the planet. Now you can build your own scrumptious seafood boil. Choose from mussels, sweet and succulent snow crab legs, Dungeness or hard-shell crab, tasty lobster claws, shrimp or clams. You can get it all. And the boils also include Chickies and Pete's delectable smoked sausage, corn, and potatoes, plus crab juice, drawn butter, and you know you got that bread for dipping, baby. Or you could try Chickies' delicious shrimp po' boy, baked oysters, crab cake sliders, or Philly cheeseburger sliders, plus half-price classic or boneless wings every Monday night only at Chickies and Pete's. For details and locations, visit chickiesandpete's.com. That's Chickies and Pete's.com. We love Chickies. We're back on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show. Come on in, EJ.
Come
Get
on,
here.
big guy. Let's go. Bring it in.
Tell us, EJ, how are the facilities here at the beautiful Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey?
They are immaculate, as you would expect. Fast. And, got everything you need.
What's your name, little man? And who do you want the Eagles to draft? You care about position? You want an offensive lineman or a wide receiver? All right, Tucker knows ball. Tucker knows ball. He says offensive line. He knows that you win in the trenches.
Only a Philadelphia kid would know that.
Only a Philadelphia kid would come up and say, we need offensive line. I don't even need a name. Just give me Big Ugly.
It's great parenting right there.
That's fantastic. All right, Fran, welcome back.
Thank you.
Went pretty close to what you expected. You were right about Tyson.
Yep.
You were right about Fano. And then you said, keep an eye on offensive line for the Giants. They go Mauigoa instead of Ioane.
Yep.
Good call.
Cowboys are trading up to 11 and taking Caleb Downs.
Okay. Only traded 177 and 180 to move up one spot.
Okay.
That's a pretty good result for them. That's the guy they wanted, right?
That's what they wanted. So that means that Miami probably said, we're going to take him.
Oh, you think so? Or do you,
I think it's more somebody else was trying to move up.
I find it hard to believe that.
I think if they were going to take him, they would have just taken him. Don't you think? I don't think they don't take their guy for 2 fifth-round picks.
I think Miami's in a position where they're kind of doing that.
Yeah, but they didn't get that much for it.
It's 2 cracks at the apple. Might get Puka Nakua out of this 5. It could be a boat.
I think that's there's someone else they like. They would rather get that person than move down too much for someone else. That's how
the 2-5, the 2 fit. What were they getting from another team to jump up multiple spots that was going to give less than 2 fits?
Well,
that's
maybe you don't want to move back multiple
that's what I'm saying. They didn't want to go back too much because there's
Right.
someone that they like.
Yeah, maybe. That could be it.
I'll tell you who the big winner is. Former Eagles secondary coach Christian Parker.
You're right.
I mean, he's very happy with Caleb Downs. And he has shown the proof of concept for what he can do with a player like that.
He's got his Marcus Epps.
Yeah. Thought you were going to go a different player there, but you never know. Yeah.
That'll be a fun thing to follow. Caleb Downs in Dallas. What do you think about Miami here?
I think it's going to be best lineman.
Okay.
I think it's probably Ruben Bain.
Yeah, I think that connection is so easy to make.
Yeah. He was coached at the University of Miami by Jason Taylor. Dolphins great. The only hang-up here for me with mocking them to Miami, John Eric Sullivan, the new general manager, comes from Green Bay.
Yeah.
They have very strict body type thresholds on players. So if the arm length is too much, it's too far gone, and he could just be off the board with that arm length. That's possible, knowing the way that Green Bay has operated in the past. So that could be something that keeps them from taking him here.
To underscore it, Ruben Bain, the super productive, super disruptive player from Miami on the edge. Those arms are a standout. He's under 31 inches, 30 7/8 of the 57 elite edge rushers over the past decade plus. There is only one other guy who was even under 32, and that was Melvin Ingram at 31.5. It is a thing that hasn't been done before. But I also kind of like the theory of it is difficult to get pros in Miami to fully buy in, just because of everything that goes into being a young man living in Miami and like what that's like. To take away some of the guesswork and have a guy who did it in college, I think you can sort of talk yourself into it.
He's a great player too. Like one of my favorite Fran Duffy expressions is, "It's not a problem unless it's a problem." And I feel like with Ruben Bain, you don't see it come up that his arm length is. I mean, not to say it's not always something that you can notice, but he was incredibly productive and just a really good player despite the shorter arms.
All right, EJ, you're getting a little antsy.
I am getting a little antsy.
It's not the bathroom. You've already handled that.
I handled that. But listen, again, everybody out there, it's going to be it's going to be a really fun weekend.
Yeah.
But we have to take care of ourselves. Hydrate, make sure you're eating okay. I mean, listen, we can indulge a little bit, but hydration's important in the next couple of days.
So what are you antsy about?
Oh, getting to the Jefferson Health Complex.
That's what I'm saying.
I got to be boots on the ground, and something tells me that the Eagles are going to make a pick when I'm in the car.
You're getting nervous. You're thinking about pulling the trigger. You want to hit that parachute.
I am sweating. I'm glowing.
Yeah. You think you're going to make a move?
Soon.
Okay.
Soon.
Well, I want to like extract what we can from you. So what are the other takes you want to get off before you leave? Because hopefully we'll be able to check in with you from the
hopefully. My only other take,
NovaCare complex.
I feel like I'm actually higher on Maxi Hanachor than even our guy Fran Duffy. I really like him as a player.
Okay.
I really like him as a prospect. I think he's got a great ceiling. I guess you're worried about the variance, but honestly, and he checks a lot of boxes for the Eagles as well. He's 6'5", 321 with good length. He was a Senior Bowl standout, which is something the Eagles value. He's a late introduction to the game. A Nigerian native and a former basketball player. The thing that really pushed me over the edge with Maxi Hanachor was when I asked Fran, the former basketball player, does he have the nastiness? Because I know that Howie Roseman is going to be looking for, to check every box with a Pac-12 offensive tackle after Andre Dillard. And Fran told me, at the Senior Bowl, this guy showed that. He showed that edge. He showed that play personality. So, I'm all in. I'm all in on Maxi Hanachor. I think if he is the pick at 23, he's he's got a pathway to be a swing tackle even because he's got experience at both spots. I like Maxi Hanachor. I think that he should be considered a little bit more with that group of top tackles.
How do you feel about Hanachor, Fran?
I really like him. I think there is some variance. This is a guy I think in any draft would go in the first round, like probably late in the first round.
Yeah.
But it would be it's a dice roll. It's a dice roll.
He is like the first guy you told us about.
Yeah, I remember that.
When we were just like, throw somebody out there who could be the pick at 23.
Yeah.
And you knew that this is a tackle who's not going to go at the top because of the profile, but there are going to be good tackles who push him down.
I got the Dolphins pick.
It's a tackle, isn't it?
It sure is.
Oh, no. Kadyn Proctor?
It is Kadyn Proctor.
Wow.
Oh, man.
All right, now, let's deal with this for a second, because let's indulge the worst case scenario for the Eagles. Okay. Let's say that Monroe Freeling goes in the next couple picks. The Rams is a possibility. Ravens is a possibility. Bucs is a possibility. Let's say that Sadiq goes as well. They can't move up. Let's say that Keldric Faulk goes. That's sort of like worst case scenario, and then it starts to sort of point to staying put for Hanachor.
I mean, what did I just say? I like Maxi Hanachor. Maybe this is a stick and pick situation for the Eagles.
But what if he goes?
I think he's the one of all the players we've talked about. That's the one at 23. I'm like, I feel the best that he will be there.
Okay. And what about Ioane, who is?
I think Ioane comes off the board.
Do you think the Eagles would be interested in a small move up for Ioane? Would they take a guard that early? I struggle to see it.
I think they could.
Yeah.
They could.
I think it's possible.
It's possible. He's been primarily a left guard over his career. He played a little bit of right guard. He's played like 100 so snaps or a couple hundred snaps at right guard. So it's not like, he's only one position player. He is guard only. I don't think he's a center. But great kid, powerful. He's got unique traits. He fits them.
It's possible. It's possible we get
I got to verify this before I don't want to say it.
Is there a thought that the Eagles are moving up?
This is according to Jay Glazer, The Rams are taking Ty Simpson with the 13th overall pick.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Todd McShay was on it. He was the only one that had Mox last night, this morning.
Oh, man.
Let's make that the Rothman bounce back, because that is a shocking moment of the night. A bounce back of sorts as the Rams look to find their Matthew Stafford replacement using the 13th overall pick on Ty Simpson.
That is outrageous.
The little guy with not a lot of starting experience. This is not a great profile for a quarterback, Fran, but you do like him. There's upside here.
It's not Fran's QB2, and
no.
I don't
what
disagree
do you
with
think
that.
about McVay doing this?
I mean, look, he's not my QB2, but I have a potential starting grade on him. He's my QB3 by like a small margin. He's a top 30 player for me. Look, I really liked the film with Ty Simpson in the first half of the season, enough where he was a top 5 player for me. I graded him as a starting NFL quarterback. Now, we've only got the 1-year sample, and he got hurt, and he was sick in the back end of the year, and so there's a lot to look at, and the play certainly hit a downward spiral. He does not have to start right away. He's going to sit behind Matthew Stafford for this year, maybe even next year. Time will tell there, but they clearly felt convicted.
That's the best result for him, the player, for sure.
No question. Yeah. Les Snead has been connected to Ty Simpson since the summer. Like, I've been hearing that since like July, August, that he liked Ty Simpson. So,
and there was something about like the family consulted with Les Snead to see if he was worth going into the draft.
I don't know if it was necessarily consulted with. That hasn't been confirmed that it was Les Snead. I think that's people reading between the lines a little bit, or at least just saying it without saying it. But clearly, Ty Simpson declared for the draft as a 1-year starter, knowing that he was going to probably go high. Yeah. He had a good shot at going high.
This is fascinating. And now I'm bringing Rothman into it because Ty Simpson is also a smaller, lighter player who, with limited starting experience, has been injured.
He got hurt
quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I dropped him down my boil, because it's like, all right, he's had 1 year starting experience and he got hurt in that year. So it's a tough gamble. But the flashes were really good. I mean, I liked a lot of what I saw about Ty Simpson. So,
Ty Simpson, do yourself a favor. Get in touch with the good people at Rothman as you enter your NFL career, because it's likely going to come in handy.
Genuinely asking here, just because, again, I'm always thinking about how things affect the Eagles. Is there any Tanner McKee ripple effects here? Is there any potential trade targets? Teams that
Arizona now that they don't
Ty
get Simpson
would have been available for them.
Yeah, I mean, our guys at PHNX were like hoping that Simpson was going to be there. Like
I thought they didn't want him. They wanted him.
Bo and Johnny especially. Johnny Venables. He wanted Ty Simpson. So he said, "Fran, I hope we talk to you later." Their quarterback room right now is Gardner Minshew and Jacoby Brissett, who's not happy and wants more money.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe Nelson ends up there.
Very interesting. All right. Monroe Freeling's still out there. Should let him go?
I probably should go. I probably should make sure that I'm in position.
I will say the fact that Proctor has gone.
Trade up possibilities are lower.
Fano, Mauigoa, Proctor, bang, bang, bang like this. It's like the clock's ticking on Freeling and Ioane.
All right. Well, EJ, we'll talk to you soon.
This has been fun.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I'll see you guys from Jefferson Health.
We'll see you in a little bit, virtually. And, of course, you'll be with us in studio tomorrow night and on Saturday as well.
Looking forward to it.
You clean up very nicely.
The brown suit was all the rage in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, yeah.
And I don't know if they see in the chat, I love this little thing here where you got the blue on whatever that is.
The lapel?
On the lapel that then matches the tie.
Well, I'll give the credit to my wife. Shout out to Julia at home. She helped me put this together. She steered me away from some bad decisions, so we should be I should give the credit to her.
All right, shout out to Julia. All right, get out of here.
All righty, I'm on the road.
Don't drive too fast.
Yeah, but I hope they don't make a trade while I'm in the car, but that's exactly what's going to happen.
It's okay. Yeah. We got BLG to handle it. You'll be okay. We're not taking a break, though, so just get out of here.
All right. While you're doing that, BLG's going to jump on. I'm going to go jump on DLLS and talk a little Caleb Downs.
Okay, sounds good. A little shift change. We go from 3 to 2 with a different one. A little Freebird action going on. BLG will join us in just a second. If you're thinking about the Eagles getting antsy, Monroe Freeling still available as the top potential tackle. Could they be interested in you? Want to go ahead? You can go. Sadiq. Got to be wondering about Kenyon Sadiq. And Makai Lemon.
Sadiq I'd worry about with Baltimore.
Yeah.
To me, it's Ioane or Sadiq there. And then after that, it's Carolina, Minnesota. Those are the 3 teams.
Tampa.
Tampa's just a wild card. Yeah. 3 of their last 4 first-round picks, the media had no idea they were going to take them. Okay. No one had them taking Ekbuka. No one had them taking Kalijah Kancey. The only time in the last 4 years where everyone knew who Jason Light was going to take it was Graham Barton.
Okay.
Every other year, it's like completely off the board. So that's like, I think there's a better chance that it could be like Keldric Faulk to Tampa than like Sadiq.
Okay.
And certainly Messidor.
No, Messidor. I'm surprised Bain hasn't gone yet. The arm length.
It's the short arms.
Okay, get out of here. I can sort of see him in Baltimore.
Yeah, that's the one where it's like, I can't believe he fell.
Yeah.
I can see that.
All right, get out of here. Yes, the reminder of what we're doing for Big Brothers, Big Sisters, inspiring youth through sports. Check out that QR code. We are super appreciative of the donations that have been made tonight. If you really want to take that to the next level, we are, move over a little bit that way, we are encouraging anybody who can even think about sparing the time to become a big because of what kind of an impact that can make in the lives of a young person in Philadelphia or wherever you are watching, because I know the chat is sort of sharing where they're all watching from. Nice to see all the people out there from different spots. Boise, Idaho, I see. Williamsburg, Virginia. Southwest Philly. Austin, Texas, and Osaka, Japan. Love to see that. Get your headset on there, my friend. All right. What'd you make of the big move by the Rams, BLG?
I'm shocked by that one. I did not see that one coming. I think a lot of people thought Ty Simpson might not even go in the first round at all, let alone at 13. But, I mean, they have to start thinking about life after Stafford at some point.
It feels like this is something they have flirted with for a long time. And I guess for them, the opportunity to be picking this early, they're not going to get that very often. That's sort of how I read it.
Absolutely.
All right, so from put your fan hat on, what are you hoping for?
So I see, where are we caught up in terms of the show?
Oh, tell me. If you know the Ravens pick, tell me.
I'm not at the Ravens pick yet. I just wanted to make sure we saw the Dolphins.
Dolphins got Mauigoa, yes.
Okay, yes, okay. So,
Dolphins got Proctor. Yeah.
Kadyn Proctor goes off the board. Probably the most consensus Eagles first-round pick, I would say, going into today. So Howie's getting nervous, I think. These offensive tackles off the board.
But I also think this is he knew that this was possible.
Right.
He is not surprised by this. He may have been hoping to be able to move up for somebody like that. I think they spend a lot of time going through scenarios, and they will not be surprised that these are the people left on the board at this point.
Ruben Bain is still out there.
Yeah.
Someone who's been compared to your co-host here, Brandon Graham.
I had a prediction, by the way.
Okay.
That I could just sort of see, and I forgot to add this in my answer key mock draft from the other day, which I stand by, and it's still on the board. I can really see the final press conference on Saturday after the draft, as Howie Roseman addresses the media and recaps the whole weekend. I envision him starting that press conference by being like, and just a little bit of news. We're really excited that we're bringing back Brandon Graham,
of course,
for year 19. There is no reporting on that. I have not heard that at all.
Yes,
I can just from the vision board of it and like seeing the Matrix. It's a thing that I think Howie Roseman would love to be able to just put in there to put a little bow on the weekend.
A little bow. I do recall. Was it that Sunday?
He did something like that with somebody.
Makai Becton, right? I think was it that, or was that the day after?
He did do it with Makai Becton.
Or at least it was very shortly after the draft.
I think there was another year where the wrap-up press conference, he announced a re-signing of something. Maybe Darren Sproles?
That sounds right. It is the kind of Howie thing you're getting at. Like, this thing we didn't address? He's preempting that, which is very savvy and smart by him. I'll give him credit for that.
So, just a thing to remember as a possibility. Who would you rather? Freeling or Sadiq? Woodpecker, you rather?
I love a Woodpecker, you rather? Freeling or Sadiq? I would go Freeling. I think some of the things I've seen on Sadiq as it relates to production, I have question marks, especially if we're talking about trade up. If he fall, are you saying these guys are available at 23?
I'm just saying, let's say you move up and they're both on the board, or either one.
I think the positional value there, I still go Freeling.
How about Freeling or Ruben Bain?
I think Ruben Bain.
That'd be fun.
It would be fun. I mean, edge rusher is still a need. There's talk they could trade for one, so maybe they go that route.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
Sure.
Because there's reporting out there that there is a likelihood that the Eagles can trade for Jonathan Grenard, the edge rusher from the Minnesota Vikings. Had an awesome year 2 years ago, a little bit of a down year last year. But I think that's the kind of thing where the Eagles have that in place in case they don't draft an edge rusher early. It's not off the table for them to address it early and then put that to the side. They've got these eventualities, right? How would you feel about, let's call it, the first third for Jonathan Grenard?
I feel good about. I think that's not going to be the issue if a deal gets done, like the compensation. I think it's more of the contract. That's the hang up for me. If we're talking about, and I don't know if this is the case, but if we're talking about like Jalen Phillips type money, like I think that's a little too expensive at that point.
Okay. How about, let's say Freeling goes off the board. Sadiq or Venga Ioane?
Ioane. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going offensive line. I'm a little bit of a Sadiq skeptic, I will have to say.
Me too.
That's tough to say here next to Fran. But
he's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
And you can see it, but it is
and I hate that, by the way.
Without precedent. I don't know.
That's not fun for like a draft show.
I know. But if I was an Eagles fan and they drafted Sadiq, I think it's probably the most fun night you could have in terms of imagining what it could look like.
That's what people
even
want.
if it's a wide receiver, then you're like, oh, well, we're losing AJ. That's not so exciting.
Right.
But like, this is a different type of toy. You know what I mean?
I think that's fair. And I think that EJ's point about watching Tucker Kraft in that Green Bay offense and understanding, like, all right, this is the way that they're trying to use a player like this. I think that's informative too.
Okay.
Ioane is going off the board to Baltimore.
Oh.
Okay, well.
I think you had that one, right?
Yeah.
No sweat off your back. Fantastic. All right, so Ioane's gone.
So that brings up Tampa.
One more
15.
offensive lineman left of the elites.
Yeah.
With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams yet to pick before the Eagles.
Yep. All right, let's talk through that a little bit.
Okay, let's talk through
it. All right, so Tampa Bay has been a popular team in terms of trading down.
Yeah.
So this could be an opportunity for the Eagles to trade
all
up.
along, this was sort of looked at as this is as high as the Eagles would likely be able to go.
That's the spot.
This could be it. This could be it right now. They moved to 15 for free.
Howie and Jason Light have a good relationship.
Yeah.
They've traded before. That could be a move-up spot. I have heard Tampa as a potential offensive line team, but more for guard and like guys that could play guard. So like if Proctor were there, I'd be worried about. I'm not worried about them taking Freeling.
Okay.
So I actually think that Freeling's off the board here in terms of. I don't think that he's an option.
Right.
I'm not worried about the Jets taking Freeling. It really comes down to, do you think the Lions will take Freeling or not?
Yeah.
My gut tells me that they are going pass rush. Not everybody feels that way. Tackle has been the most positive.
I mean, can't you absolutely imagine them loving Ruben Bain?
Yeah.
I mean Aiden Hutchinson had the short arms too. The idea of having Hutchinson and Bain together, that is like Dan Campbell's wet dream.
I had them trading up for a reason to go up and get him. So who knows? Like they could trade up here to go and get him. Honestly, after Detroit, the only other trip up spot would be Carolina at 19, potentially taking Freeling, and Pittsburgh at 21 taking Freeling. So it's not getting ahead of those teams.
Or one of those teams moving up.
Yes, or another team moving up.
It could work out.
It could work out if you want Freeling.
Let's talk Freeling.
All right. 1 year as a starter.
Yeah.
Only at left tackle. He played a little bit of right tackle the year before. Really athletic. He's long, looks the part. All the tools you want to be. You can hear Howie Roseman right now. Like he's got the tools in his body to be a high-level starter at left tackle. He's also played a little bit of right tackle, so you can say either way. I think when you're looking at Freeling, the first half of the season had some ugly film. He's on the ground a lot. He can get pushed back in the pocket. He struggled a little bit against SEC defenders. But then you watch in the second half of the year and things started to get put together. And really what you saw was a high-level prospect and a guy that had the ability to develop into a Pro Bowl player. I have him in the same tier as all these other guys that have gone. I have him in the same tier as Mauigoa and Fano and Proctor. So to me, when I'm looking at Freeling, he's not a finished product yet, but what you get year 2, year 3, you can get really excited about.
All right, if you are watching on Fast, stay tuned. We got a quick TV break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Everybody else on YouTube, we're staying right here, baby. How would you feel about Freeling? We've talked about it a little bit, but the people here at Chickies and Pete's in Marlton are very excited to be on camera. Love that.
I would feel excited. I would feel like there's potential, and that the way the Eagles would value him is different than other teams are going to value him as a player who might have to play.
There's a little bit of a Ty Simpson behind Matthew Stafford. You know, the Eagles are well positioned to handle the development of Monroe Freeling. But is it the same in a post-Jeff Stoutland world?
Tampa made a pick.
Tampa made a pick?
Yep.
Okay. You don't know who it is yet?
Oh, I got it.
You do know who it is. And it's not who you thought?
It's not who I thought. I'm surprised by who it is.
Oh.
Wow.
Is it Sadiq?
No.
No, you said that it was a possibility.
It's someone that has not been mocked to the Bucs. I'll double check this. And then we talked about this.
Mesidor.
Everyone thinks, oh, you know, we got this pegged. It's not Mesidor. Let me just I want to make sure before I say, was not mocked to the Bucs once all spring. Once again, Jason Light does this every year.
Okay. Is it Faulk?
It's Ruben Bain.
It is Ruben Bain.
It's a Ruben Bain.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. He's not what I would think of for Todd Bowles, though. That's not like a Todd Bowles type of rusher.
Yeah. They didn't worry about Kalijah Kancey's arms.
They didn't, but as a 3 technique, I think I'm okay with that. They typically like their guys dropping. They took Joe Tryon early. You know, they like the guys with like length and athleticism, and that's not necessarily Bain. But hey, that's they wanted. I will say, talking to a scout from the combine, the one thing he did say, and this definitely applies to Bain, it's like we were missing an edge. We didn't have an edge on our defense. This past year.
Not an edge rusher.
That's certainly something that Ruben Bain brings to the table.
Okay, I like that. I also really enjoy seeing the behind the scenes here of BLG being on our live show while also monitoring and posting on Bleeding Green Nation.
That's a common thing for me. Yeah, is the podcast, true to form, part podcaster, part blogger. Been in the game a long time.
I imagine that everybody watching is familiar with Bleeding Green Nation and your greater oeuvre, but just give people a little bit of a plug.
BleedingGreenNation.com. Been doing this for 13 years, so been doing it a long time. And it's basically where all your Eagles news and analysis and rumors and discussion. The comment section is a big one. Obviously, you got to get in the comments. It's the way to do it. And if you sign up for an account, fewer ads than you would see if you're not logged in. So sign up for an account. It's free. Log in.
There we go. Reminder that we are here all weekend in conjunction with the big draft with our friends at Big Brothers Big Sisters. Had a chance to catch up with Kevin and Evan at the top of the show. Check that out. And we're doing a great job here raising money. Really appreciative to everybody in the chat who is donating. If you're just joining us, you can see that donation button on YouTube. Over $1,500 already. And please do consider the possibility of becoming a big and helping out a young person who could use some mentorship. Really appreciate that. All right. We're back. We're rocking. We're rolling.
Halfway point.
Halfway point.
Wow.
New York Jets have been connected to the pass catchers, wide receivers throughout this entire process.
Yeah.
Makai Lemon has been a very popular pick for them in a lot of mocks. A lot of late steam, though, for Omar Cooper Jr., a wide receiver from Indiana, a player that the Eagles had in for a 30 visit reportedly. So keep an eye on that here. Will they go with Lemon or will they go with Cooper? Last year, the first year of this regime, they took all third-year juniors, 21-year-olds in the first 2 days of the draft. If that holds serve, if you think they're going to stay to that formula, then it's Makai Lemon.
Okay, good to keep in mind. We will keep that in mind as we go to our next break here, live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton. The PHLY Eagles draft show rolls on. Howie Roseman, he's making calls. He wants to know what the price is. Is Freeling the guy he wants to move up for? We will be here if that's the case. Ashley's Big biggest one-day event is here, and it's happening this Saturday. Starting at 10 a.m., you've got 12 hours, that's it, to save big on all of Ashley's hottest styles. Take up to 20% off Ashley's furniture, or shop now and pay later with Ashley's 60-month no-interest financing, sofas, bedrooms, dining sets, sectionals, and more. Up to 20% off. Don't miss the huge savings this Saturday, and only this Saturday, at Ashley. Chickies and Pete's, voted the #1 sports bar in America by ESPN, and you know they're right here in the Delaware Valley. And if you are celebrating the draft tonight, or the draft is forcing you to drink, well, guess what? Chickies is a good place to come, because the warmer weather means it's time for a Chickies and Pete's tasty seasonal cocktail. Like Chickies Italian Ice Crush, a Just Peachy Very Berry Cherry Martini, or a non-alcoholic strawberry ginger lemonade. Maybe you'd prefer one of Chickies' signature cocktails instead, including the Flying Hawaiian, made with coconut rum, the Jack Mango Smash, the refreshing vanilla and orange creamsicle crush, or raspberry sangria or Patriot Punch. Perfect summer cocktails. Have them outside at Chickies, only at Chickies and Pete's. Locations and details at chickiesandpete's.com. Find out which of those wonderful cocktails is your favorite. Come to Chickies all over the Delaware Valley. Ashley's biggest one-day event is this Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. So if you want, you can just go there right before round 4 starts, get your shopping done, and then come on over and watch the show. But this is the chance to do it, because this is a one-day event. Shop Ashley's Hot Buys and unwind on the Belcaro Place sofa and sleep in style on the Port-Down Queen bed. Plus, take up to 20% off all Ashley furniture, or shop now and pay later. Don't miss the huge savings starting at 10 a.m. this Saturday during Ashley's 12-hour sale. Back in the PHLY Eagles podcast, live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey. Jets are on the clock, but Fran has the pick.
Wow.
Is Mr. Lindsay going to be happy?
He should be.
Keldric Faulk?
No. Oh. It's a third-year junior.
Freeling?
Nope.
Lemon?
No.
Sadiq?
Kenyon Sadiq is a New York Jet. They just took Mason Taylor in the top 40 a year ago.
Yeah.
Clearly, not as high on Mason Taylor as they were a year ago, I guess.
That's interesting. Same regime, too.
Same regime, same coach, same different.
Do they want to go 12 heavy? Yeah. Best available pass catcher. They just think he's better.
I guess. Yeah. It's that's very surprising. I did not. Everyone always said pass catcher, and I was like, well, it's going to be a receiver for them. Everybody has gotten into the vibe of saying like pass catcher for teams, just to leave it open. But I thought, they just took Mason Taylor in the top 40. They're not going to take another one high. Sadiq to the Jets.
Interesting.
Devastating for EJ.
Lindsay, let us know what the reaction is from Mr. Lindsay about the Kenyon Sadiq pick. We got to keep track of that.
He should be very excited. Sadiq's an awesome player.
Okay.
All right. So
Freeling's still there.
Freeling's still
there. And this is the one. This is the one where
the one.
People have been worried they would go offensive line. Now Bain is gone.
If
they don't go Freeling, they could go Ioane.
They could go Blake Miller.
Ooh.
The reasoning behind that would be that if they don't think that Larry Borum is the starter, which Brad Holmes has come out and said, Larry Borum's our right tackle. And again, all the work they've done on tackles have been the day 2, day 3 types, not the day 1 guys.
More like Borum, Phil.
Well, yeah. But if they don't want a plug-and-play guy, you take Blake Miller, you put him at right tackle because you're moving Penny Sewell over to the left side.
Yeah.
Monroe Freeling, if you think he's a left tackle only.
I could see them going Ioane.
Ioane's gone. He's in Baltimore.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep, Ioane's gone. So I have mocked Keldric Faulk here before.
I can see that.
Mesidor's been mocked here. I don't think Holmes will take a 25-year-old.
No.
I don't think he'll do that. Could be wrong. He's not afraid to go against consensus.
Who would you rather have, Freeling or Faulk?
For who?
For the Eagles.
Faulk.
I would rather have Faulk.
I'd rather have Faulk too, but understanding, all right, that means you're passing on offensive line this year.
That's okay.
Again. Yeah, right.
I don't know.
If
I
they
think
take
a
Faulk,
small move up for Faulk is
the thing is
really on the table.
There's the team that you have to worry about with Faulk. We didn't talk about this before the draft. There's a lot of steam with Dallas and Keldric Faulk.
Okay.
At 20.
At 20.
So you'd have to get up ahead of them if you want to get Faulk. If you want to be sure to get Faulk.
Which is exactly what the answer key said yesterday. on the PHLY Eagles show. The Eagles going up to 19 to get Keldric Faulk. Speak it into existence. The Matrix may have been correct.
So what you want, if you want that to happen, then you want Minnesota to take Dylan Thieneman at 18. Okay. Because I've heard that 19 Carolina, they want Thieneman.
Okay.
So you want Thieneman to go off the board at 18. That gives Carolina more motivation to move down. Then you can move up ahead of Dallas and make sure you get Keldric Faulk, if that's what you want.
You probably also want Freeling gone.
Yeah. I'm waiting on the Lions pick.
I have breaking news.
We
have word from Mr. Lindsay. He says Lindsay says after the Bailey pick, he said Super Bowl. After the Sadiq pick, he's a stud, but the Jets do not need a tight end.
Yeah, it's really surprising. All right. I got the Lions pick. My Lions guy came
big.
through.
His Lions guy came through. I mean, I just got to say, the people who are watching, not only is Fran giving you like expert analysis on every player who is being drafted and will be drafted over the course of the weekend, he's also plugged in, man. He's breaking picks left and right. What do we got?
It's an offensive tackle.
But it's not Freeling. It's Blake Miller?
It's Blake Miller.
Really?
Blake Miller to the Lions.
You said that.
Yeah.
You called that.
I was really interested to see the world where the Eagles took Blake Miller, and then you're like, well, there are. You try to spin it as a positive. Now you don't have to do that.
I'm so glad that they don't have
You don't
just
have
because
to
I just feel like now it's I don't want all the
everything that comes with that.
Yeah,
but you got to be true to your process.
Of course.
And for those of you who don't know, Blake Miller, who just went off the board as the 17th overall pick, is like your tackle 20 or something like that. Why is that? The guy who has started 4 years at Clemson.
I think that his range of outcomes is solid backup to low-end starter, and I lean more on the former. I think he's more of a backup. I don't discount the idea that he could be a starter, but I'm not taking that bet, especially this early. He's not powerful. He's not moving people in the run game. He's athletic, but not the way he tested. I didn't see any unique traits. For him to go top 20, that's very, very rich for me, obviously.
Good news for Eagles fans.
Good news for Eagles fans.
All right, so how would you handicap right now the most likely first-round pick for the Eagles? If I asked you to place a bet on who their pick is going to be, whether or not they move up, who's the Eagle at the end of the night? Would you still say Freeling number one?
I would.
I think so, with how it's been playing out. It's playing out in their favor right now.
Can we talk about if Freeling and Faulk are gone?
Yes.
At that point,
that's Ihanator.
Okay, that's where I would go.
Is it a wide receiver?
Or is it like Casey Concepcion or Mark? Yep, right.
Or Lemon, who's still on the board?
Lemon's still there. Yeah.
This is Howie has got to be projecting cool, but like a duck pattering under the water underneath, because this is 2 years ago. That was the best draft he's ever had. In how he was able to move around the board because he was patient at 23 or 20 whatever it was, and got Quinyon Mitchell, and then moves up for Cooper DeJean. Can he afford to be patient now? I think the good news is now they're in range where moving up is not going to cost something that's going to prohibit them from moving around tomorrow. But I'm very curious to see how he plays this.
I would almost give him more credit for this year from the standpoint of, again, I think they've wanted to take an offensive tackle in the past. And in that draft with Quinyon, there was discipline. And it was like, well, if we don't preempt the tackle run, we'll be happy with this. We'll feel really good about this. Whereas this year, I think he has to be a little bit more nervous. And if he calls his shot and he can still get the guy he wants at 23, I'm almost more impressed by that.
Okay. I want to take another break here because I want to get these breaks in before we really get to Eagles pick territory. So let's take our next break. Stay here because the Eagles are only 6 spots away from being on the board, and they could move up at any time. Howie, we know you're thinking about it. Just do it in 2 minutes when we're back. Beautiful day here on a Thursday. It might rain this weekend, but the sun's going to come out. We are in sweet season. That's right. Let's talk about a game changer at Rita's because the Gelati Sundae has officially arrived, and yeah, this thing is delicious. Why settle for just one flavor when you can have everything? With Rita's Gelati Sundae, you're getting layers of classic Italian ice, that rich, creamy frozen custard, and then topping it all off with, well, whatever you're in the mood for. This is full customization. Mix, match, build your own masterpiece. Every cup is different. Every combo hits. I'm telling you, once you try it, you're not going to be back to just one flavor again. And don't forget to download the Rita's app. You can find your nearest location, order ahead. When you sign up, you'll get a free small ice plus earn rewards all season long. Bottom line, make this the sweetest season yet with Rita's ice, custard, and happiness. Be cool if you got a little achiness going on. You've been battling chronic pain, or maybe you just picked up a brand new injury. You don't have to be a hero, okay? Don't tough it out. Get it looked at by the experts at Rothman Orthopedics. These are the same specialists trusted across the region to treat everything from joint pain and back issues to sports injuries and fractures. Whether it's something that's lingered for months or something that happened this week, the good people at Rothman have you covered. The easiest way to get started, visit rothmanortho.com/PHLY. That's ROTHMANORTHO.com/PHLY and schedule your appointment today. With the Rothman Fast Scheduler, you can connect with their VIP scheduling specialists for your specific issue, saving time and getting you on the path to recovery faster. And don't forget about Rothman Now, a convenient way to access expert virtual orthopedic care when you need answers promptly with guidance from the same trusted team. Stop living with pain. Go to rothmanortho.com/PHLY and book today. Back at the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, Night 1, live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey. Bo Wulf, Brandon Lee Gowton, Fran Duffy, our All-City NFL Draft Analyst, E.J. Smith, on his way to the Jefferson Health Center to cover what happens with the Eagles. We'll hear from him in a little bit. Presumably, Eagles 6 picks away now. Number 18, Minnesota Vikings, are on the clock. The 2 players who we are really keeping an eye on, Monroe Freeling, the tackle from Georgia, Keldric Faulk, the defensive lineman from Auburn. Some other possibilities out there, but those are the 2 guys we've got sort of circled. And I am starting to get a little bit of, the Marcus Smith vibes. Not that this is that ordering, but I imagine that those 2 guys are kind of a tier difference from everybody else still on the board for the Eagles. And I could see them just waiting until one of them goes and then moving up whatever it takes to get the other one. Just a thought.
Most formative draft, right, in Howie Roseman's history.
I think so.
He might be having flashbacks if that's the case. Yeah, I do feel like I feel like he's getting antsy here, just based on how this is going.
How do you feel about a Makai Lemon?
I feel like I wasn't as clued in to the wide receivers from a standpoint of like like you've talked about, you just don't love you don't love this class. You don't love the value of the receivers. They need help there, absolutely, especially because AJ is expected to be gone. But even when you look at the kind of players they were targeting going into the draft and the ones they've had on visits and such, like I don't know that that's the mold of player they're looking for.
Should we spend a couple minutes, Fran, on the secondary guys who could potentially tempt the Eagles? Now, I do find it difficult to believe that given the expectations of big contracts coming down the line for Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, what they're paying Reek Willen now, not that it's only 1-year deal and not paying Reed Blankenship, that they would use a pick like this on someone like Avion Terrell or even Jermod McCoy. But how would those guys fit?
I think that Avion Terrell is the right style of player. He's tough, he's instinctive, he's got good ball skills. He's my favorite corner in this class. Didn't have to have a great pre-draft process from a testing standpoint, but he's been dinged up with soft tissue injuries the entire time. And so, and that's a question with him because of his size. So, to me, if Faulk goes, he'll be the best player. He'll be the best player on the board for me if we get to that point. It's just tough.
If Faulk and Freeling were both gone, would you?
Yes.
I think you would still think they would go Ihanachor?
I have a higher grade on Avion Terrell than I do on Ihanachor and on Freeling.
Yeah.
But I think I'd have to take. They're in the same tier. I just have a higher grade on Terrell.
Yeah.
So.
And then how about the 2 safeties? Dylan Thieneman and Emmanuel McNeil-Warren from Toledo.
I would be surprised if Thieneman were there.
Okay.
But for the sake of argument, You made the right point about safety. If you weren't willing to pay Reed Blankenship what he got from the Texans, you're not willing to pay a first round price tag
for a guy who's not
Thielemann.
Definitely the best safety in the draft. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I do think he's going to Carolina at 19. Who's going to be, yes. Okay. Who's on the clock because the Vikings are in.
And do you know who the pick?
I do.
Okay, and it's neither Freeling nor Faulk.
Nope.
Okay.
It's a off the board pick. Was not expected to go this high.
Was not expected to go this high.
No.
All right, that's a fun one. Let's think about this. I'm going to say is it a wide receiver? Is it a defensive player for Brian Flores?
No, it's not a wide receiver. It's a defensive player, yeah. Let's talk through it fast.
TJ Parker?
It's Caleb Banks.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
The Panthers pick next.
EJ has arrived at the facility. He's made it.
Oh, good timing.
Okay. Panthers pick next. And you think they're taking Thielemann?
I did.
Oh. Oh, you know who it is?
Whoa.
Panthers are up, and it's Faulk.
Monroe Freeling.
Really?
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
The Eagles are
Freeling's
not getting one of the top 4 tackles in the draft.
And Dallas is up.
And could take Faulk.
Could take Faulk here.
Man.
That is scary.
Yes.
That is scary.
All right, so let's talk through this. I've had the Eagles and Cowboys trading a couple times, but it was for Freeling.
Yeah. They've traded on draft day before.
Yep.
If the Cowboys don't take Faulk, who would they be tempted by?
Avion Terrell.
Okay. McCoy. Could they go wide receiver?
They've been mocked Mesidor. I think they are a team that could take Mesidor.
Yeah.
Jermod McCoy is an interesting one. My gut is that they're not good with his knee, just based off the reporting around them. Some of the local reporters have said they were not taking him at 12. He was never on the board for them at 12, which makes me think, all right, he's not on the board for them at 20.
Oh,
I'm trying to think who else it would be.
All right. I think we got to pull the cord here and take our last break because the Eagles are now, they could come up any time. Let's take our last break of this hour. The Eagles are not getting one of the top 4 tackles in this draft as Monroe Freeling goes off the board to the Carolina Panthers at 19. Could it be Keldric Faulk, the defensive lineman from Auburn? Could it be a wide receiver like Makai Lemon or KC Concepcion? Or could they just stay put and take a tackle? Maxi Hanachor, stay tuned here live at Chickies and Pete's in Marlton on the NFL Draft Show presented by PHLY and in conjunction with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Stay with us. It's getting exciting. Parks Casino is my casino of choice. Parks is a great place for a night of headline entertainment and award-winning dining. Make the night complete and stay at the new beautiful Parks View Hotel, which is just steps away from Parks Casino and offers shuttle service. They've got great stuff coming up, like the comedian Ben Bankus on August 22nd and magician Michael Carbonaro on September 19th. Tickets still available for these headliners at Parks Casino. Thursday, May 14th, Jacob Dylan and the Wallflowers. On the 15th, country music superstar Brantley Gilbert. We got the Dice Man coming to town on Saturday, May 16th. Hey, what am I doing over here? Andrew Dice Clay in town. All right. We got Ambrosia and Pablo Cruz, the Long Island medium Teresa Caputo. All McCartney live on Saturday, June 20th, a tribute to Sir Paul McCartney. Don't worry, EJ won't be there. ParksCasino.com to buy tickets. You must be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. We know how exciting this week has been at PHLY. We've got the Sixers making surprising noise against the Celtics. We've got the Flyers flying high, winning the first 3 games against the Steelers. And now we've got NFL Draft Weekend, and it's sometimes hard to keep up with. All the sports. How could you keep up with them all? Well, you can do it at Chickies and Pete's, voted #1 sports bar in America by ESPN, and they are right here in the Delaware Valley. It's the best sports bar and crab house on the planet, and it's the best place to watch playoff action, and it's the best in-game experience. Check this out. Every Friday from 4 to 6 p.m., Chickies and Pete's has ice-cold dollar drafts of Miller Lite for just $1. That's 4 to 6 on Fridays. Yes, ice-cold dollar drafts only from Chickies and Pete's every Friday. Restrictions apply. Visit chickiesandpete's.com for locations and more information. Tell them PHLY sent you. All right, here we go. We're back on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, and the Eagles are on the clock. They have traded up to number 20 with the Dallas Cowboys, sending them both of their 4th-round picks.
I had it happening in both my mocks.
Wow. Is it going to be Ihanachor, or could this be Keldric Faulk? Let's go.
I'm excited either way.
I'm working on it. I'm waiting. Somebody else. I'm waiting.
Could it be Makai Lemon?
I've got dots.
Oh my gosh.
I've got dots.
Garofalo, good job reporting the trade conditions. The Eagles trading 114 and 137, both of their 4th-round picks. Very exciting stuff. Could be a wide receiver.
I'm nervous.
What do you think, BLG?
Who would you pick? Who will they pick?
I would pick Faulk. I think they're going to take Ihanachor, but I'm happy with either.
Fran, Wood, Will.
Wood, Faulk.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
So would I.
Makai Lemon is there.
Yeah.
Ihanachor.
Yeah. It's got to be one of those 3.
Yeah, I would think
Unless
so.
they love Concepcion more than Lemon.
Yep.
Something like that.
Omar Cooper Jr. still there.
That would be surprising.
That would be surprising.
They have to move up for him. Oh, baby. The Eagles are on the clock. This is it. This is the moment. What are they going to do? Who do you want? Tell us in the chat. Hit the like button. Come on. Because Fran's going to break it. You know he is.
Here we go. Hold on. Makai Lemon. Makai Lemon is a Philadelphia Eagle.
Makai Lemon. With the 20th overall pick, the Eagles are drafting USC wide receiver Makai Lemon. An interesting profile, and there is no doubt that you have to consider this pick being made in conjunction with an eventual A.J. Brown trade. Makai Lemon from USC is young, is productive, and is just barely fast enough at 4.5, 40 speed. Best work on the inside. Tell us about the kind of player that the Eagles are getting in Makai Lemon, what he might be able to do in this Eagles offense.
Let me go. I'm just going to read my report.
Beautiful.
All right, so from the Die-Hard Draft Guide, 1.5-year starter in the slot in Lincoln Riley's version of the air raid offense. He's an undersized target who is often put on the move in that offense. They found creative ways to get him the football and let him build up speed to create big plays. He's a fluid and smooth athlete that won't be viewed as dynamic by NFL standards, but he has enough speed and savvy to work all 3 levels of the field. He catches anything thrown his way, and he will work immediately upfield with the ball in his hands. Overall, I see a high-floor, complementary piece in the NFL with the ceiling of being a low-end number 1 in an offense that can consistently scheme him open on the move. He took his game to another level in 2025, and I do think he has the ceiling to be a high-volume target in the right situation. But even if he does not hit that mark, I think he has a super high floor as a dirty work slot player with special teams value. He's a very useful piece on offense who can help in a variety of ways. But if he's a slot or a movement Z who I want to see moved around the formation and kept clean early in the down, this is a guy that, to me, fits in really well with a Sean Mannion level of offense. When you talk about the Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan style, that's exactly what I envisioned for this player. If you think of the way that Seattle used Jackson Smith and Jigba, a lot of the same things I think you can apply here to Makai Lemon, inside, outside. I think he complements DeVonta Smith really, really well for the future. So it's a fun pick.
What do you think, BLG?
It's flashy, and in a draft where I thought this was going to be more, again, eat your vegetables.
Yeah, instead,
build to the trenches.
They're eating the French fries. They're eating the crab fries.
And this isn't a situation, again, where it's like, okay, he was just there. And then we're staying true to our board at 23. No, they're saying we really like this guy. We're giving up capital, a decent price to pay, to have that conviction. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by the fact, too, that the Eagles have added so many wide receivers now in a short span of time. It kind of feels like what we've been talking about with it's going to be a little bit more of, not quite wide receiver by committee, but there's going to be a more spread out target share than there's been here.
A real shot across Darius Cooper's back.
I am disrespected, personally, that they would do this to Darius Cooper, but I still believe in him, so I'm not
so
worried.
you got DeVonta Smith, Makai Lemon, Dontavian Wicks, now locked up for 2 years. Hollywood Brown is here. Darius Cooper's here, and I think we can officially say that the A.J. Brown era in Philadelphia is over.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
And it's a shame.
I think bittersweet of this pick, for sure.
That's the sadness behind this pick is that the reason that they have to make it is because the A.J. Brown situation has gone the way it has. But an exciting player, not like the most explosive player, but a bit of a technician, fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, watching him go through the workout at the combine, he didn't test, he didn't do anything from run the 40 or anything like that at the combine, but watching him go through position drills, he is just super smooth and natural. And one thing that really stands out, and we talk about this all the time with Nick Sirianni and like with the memification of like the dog mentality aspect of the players they add. He is extremely tough, strong, pound for pound, extremely strong player. He plays through contact at a high rate. I mentioned the yards after catch element of his game. He's just a really good player, and he was extremely productive. And we talked before the draft started about, hey, you know what? When you have guys that were this productive, that's usually a marker for a lot of success. But at his size, that's the question. And he's not, for the guys that did hit that were productive at his size. They all were dynamic speed guys, Jalen Waddles of the world. So I think at the end of the day, there's a little bit of concern there for not hitting the ceiling, but he's a good player. He's just a really, really good football player.
The bucket that he comes from, young and productive, not so fast, because we decided that 4 or 5 didn't count as fast. Like you said, this is actually a very good bucket for guys to come from. It's a 67% hit rate. It's the best hit rate. But a lot of those guys are bigger players. The hits are Mike Evans, Juju Smith-Schuster. It's actually not a terrible comp. Devontae Adams, Jarvis Landry, Tyler Boyd, Allen Robinson, Kelvin Benjamin, CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Drake London, Ted McMillan. And the thing about all the guys who are not tall is they're all slot guys.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be interesting because he's also a player who does outstanding work over the middle of the field. And the fit in the offense with Jalen Hurts. We're going to get ahead of that. That's going to be an ongoing conversation.
Well, that's a very good point because this is the next brick put on the house of this season being we're going to find out what Jalen can really do.
Yep.
Because they are changing the offense, changing the structure, and asking him to do some things that he either hasn't done before, has been reticent to do before. Whatever it is, we're going to find out a lot this season.
Yeah, I mean, it was the biggest story at the Combine, was like what this offense was going to look like. Literally around the NFL, like talking to people around the NFL, it's like, oh, what do you think this offense is going to look like this year?
Yeah.
What's this pass game going to look like in Philly? You throw Makai Lemon into the mix, you jettison A.J. Brown, it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be a huge storyline.
Now, you wonder why Makai Lemon is on the board at 20, what could get him to fall that far. One thing that I would keep in mind is that because he played at USC, a lot of the league might not have been awake late enough to watch those games.
That's a nice market inefficiency to have. Yeah.
That's a good point.
You never know.
Yeah.
Makai Lemon is an Eagle. How do you feel about are you concerned at all about using a first-round pick just in terms of what the name means on potentially a Lemon?
That's a tough one. This is like when Bryce Huff picked 0 as his jersey number. I was a little worried that people were going to be making memes of him if he's not playing well, 0 sacks. So I do think that's absolutely a factor.
One of the nicknames for him over the course of the college football season, like in the draft zeitgeist, was Baby Puka.
Okay.
Because of the way that he works the middle of the field, plays through contact. It's going to be really interesting. The fit, I like the fit in this style of offense. This is the offense I wanted him in, like in terms of this family of offenses. It's going to be interesting to watch.
It's very interesting here as well as we've got the buzz at Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, palpable buzz. It's kind of like a party, and with the 3 of us up here, it's officially a Makai Lemon party.
I was just going to allude to the fact that you talked about nicknames. I believe you made a reference to this with EJ, poor EJ.
I mean, we are going to get years of mileage out of Lemon Party for Makai Lemon.
Little citrus. This draft has big citrus.
Yeah, that's true. Nice.
Maxi Honator to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
Wow.
Everybody sort of expected them to take an offensive lineman. That makes sense. Oh, man. Makai Lemon. the A.J. Brown of it is hard to divorce because it's almost like, obviously we wouldn't have used this pick on this player if A.J. was back. And so the idea of using a premium resource on a replacement player and also now having that attached to him, you don't not take it because of that.
Right.
But it is understandable for it to affect you a little bit.
I think in a perfect world, you look at it maybe like we're creating a need, not a perfect world. You're looking at it from an Eagles fan standpoint of we didn't have a need here, we kind of created one, and that's a little frustrating. I think I could see that. I do wonder, and I wanted to ask you guys your thoughts on this. We've all talked about how much the Eagles have gone consensus big board in recent years, especially.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Faulk and Jihaad Chore, and they're down the board a little bit.
Right.
Makai Lemon here, I have him listed here as 12. So
that's a good point.
Is there a value play here?
Yeah, and I think that's why they move up.
Yep.
And I think it probably was. Freeling was I'm guessing still on that tier. Maybe not. Obviously, they didn't love Freeling.
Right.
Because if they loved him and cared enough about that position, they would have gone up to get him.
Yep.
I think there probably is a value play there.
Pittsburgh would have been rumored about receiver, so maybe we want to get ahead of him. We want to get ahead of them. Man, I'll tell you what. Kudos to Dallas being willing to trade with the Eagles to go and get a potential number one receiver.
Yeah.
Also how they got
might still get Faulk, huh?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Faulk and Messidor were the two names you heard most.
Okay.
Colton Hood was the other. That would be another one to watch with Dallas.
Okay. Chargers are the only team in between them now. Go ahead.
Funny that they got DeVonta also in a trade with the Cowboys once upon a time, so they've acquired two key members, presumably, of their receiving core by making trades with the Cowboys.
Very interesting. I think let's bring back Ashley, Lindsay. Let's make Ashley's on the clock as we wait to see what the Cowboys do, but really to continue to unpack the Makai Lemon selection. Fran, what kind of quarterback did Makai Lemon have? Because the fact that he was able to put up as productive a season as he was, as just a true junior, are we saying does he get extra points?
No, Jade Mayava is going to be a draft pick next year, it looks like. He was thinking about entering this year's draft, ended up going back to USC. So haven't done a study of him, but a guy that people are high on going into next year.
It's not a Max Duggan situation where we're just burying him.
The year that he had, just to underscore it, as a true junior in the Big Ten, 79 catches for 1,156 yards, 14.6 yards per catch, 11 touchdowns, 96.3 yards per game. That's very good. Very funny, his yards per reception, all 3 years. First year only at 6 for 88. 14.7, 14.7, 14.6. So this is, as you have said, this is not a burner, a huge speed threat, but someone who that level of production, at that level, like we talked about in a draft where most of the wide receiver profiles were underwhelming, this guy has the real profile.
Yeah, and I mentioned when I read the scouting report, he catches everything that you throw at him. Only 5 receivers charted in the last 10 drafts had a better career drop rate, just 2.8%. Only 2 of them had more targets in their career than Lemon. So high volume target and rarely put the ball on the ground. Now, they did a lot to scheme him open and keep him clean, and because honestly, when he had to face a lot of press coverage, especially against really good corners, the Notre Dame game stands out in that way. It didn't go well, but this is a guy again that does a lot that you want at the wide receiver position, and a lot of the things that we talk about that play well for the most productive receivers in football right now, he checks a lot of those boxes.
I'm also thinking about the AJ thing here, and how obvious it must be that they do have a trade in place, because if you were worried about getting the right compensation, you're losing leverage, right? So they got a deal done, don't you think?
I think they do.
On.
I mean, it comes out, not even adults. Comes out as new information, but re-emphasized earlier this week. And I think the writing's been on the wall for a long time here, but I mean, only seals the fate. Again, a bummer. I'm not thrilled that A.J. Brown is leaving, but it's just the inevitability of it.
First round receiver is exciting.
But that is exciting, right?
You put it at 0% on another podcast, if I remember correctly.
I did.
Wow.
That he was going to come back. That AJ would come back.
Oh, I thought they were going to draft a wide receiver. Yeah.
No, it was 0% that AJ would come back.
That would be funny if you were
This shouldn't be a big surprise to BLJ's website.
Yeah.
All right, let's close the book on the clock, presented by Ashley. Very exciting to have Makai Lemon in Philadelphia. We are hoping to be able to get EJ from the facility, but efforting on that front. Do you have anything on the Chargers here, Fran?
Still waiting on them.
Okay. Ihanachor off the board.
I got it. I just clearly just got it.
What a guy.
Just got it. They take it old.
They take it Mesidor?
They take Mesidor.
Oh.
The guy just turned 25 like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. That's tough, man. They needed help off the edge. Yeah, that's tough. So I think Faulk is going to be a Cowboy.
Chargers taking old and Mesidor. They signed Charlie Kolar. I'm a little bit worried. About the Chargers.
There we go.
Keldric Faulk to the Cowboys, most likely. That's tough.
That was the other part of the DeVonta trade back in 2021 was they got Micah from that. So
that's true.
Kind of really.
Yeah, you're right.
Running it back.
Wow, Makai Lemon, man. Interesting. So now, just to update the Eagles' pick situation.
Yeah.
I'll report that there's also a 2027 7th involved in the pick as well.
Going out.
Okay. So the Eagles now have number 54 overall in the second round. They've got 2 third-round picks, 68 and 98. No fourths, 1 fifth at 178 and 1 sixth at 197. I think every expectation in the world, they're going to move down at some point tomorrow and pick up some day 3 picks.
Yeah, I think
with
that's
3
right.
picks tomorrow, I would be pretty surprised if they don't. Probably that first third-round pick is my guess, but we'll see what happens. All right. Let's head now, give it a shot, to the Jefferson Health Complex and bring in our Eagles insider, EJ Smith. You look good. Can we hear you, EJ?
Can you hear me? I hope you can
cannot.
hear me.
No, we cannot hear him. Are you muted by chance?
I
He's
hope
gonna try
not.
it again.
Can you hear me now?
He looks good.
You can't
He
hear
did
me.
look good.
Yeah.
That black suit, or the brown suit looks phenomenal.
He made it. That's good. Drove safe. Appreciate that. Makai
Thank you.
Lemon! Lemon! What do you think? How many articles have you published in the last 10 minutes?
Only one, surprisingly. Because I'm like.
You got extra hands?
It's more of I don't, but
Okay.
I think it's more. I'm shocked. It's the shock value here. My mind was not in this spot. I didn't think, and not in a bad way necessarily. I'm not down on the pick. I'm just. I had my head so wrapped around they're going to fortify the trenches.
Yeah. Let's talk draft games, BLG.
Oh yeah.
Monday's Duck Duck Juice draft. EJ used the 3rd overall pick, the first pick of his, to draft a wide receiver. So 7 points for EJ in Duck Duck Juice. It's going to be tough for us to bounce back from, especially because he's also got tight end. Maybe he'll lose it, though, with the specialist.
None of us took him in Owl You Know, right?
In Owl You Know.
I don't think so.
I don't believe that anybody took Makai Lemon. So that's actually not the first time, because last year nobody took Jihaad Campbell.
Right.
And then, in Turkeys to the Draft Kingdom, the Eagles' first-round pick will be before 23. I'm going to come out ahead on a trade-up. I had 70 turkeys on that. Fran, you had 42. EJ had 55. And then the specific position, wide receiver, I also come out ahead, but only barely over you. I had 20 on it, wide receiver. You had 18. EJ had 10. So an early lead in the most prestigious of the draft games, Turkeys to the Draft Kingdom, for your boy, Bo Wulf.
The most prestigious.
Oh, everybody says that.
That's
Am I right?
I did hear that on the drive-in. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody.
People were
says
yelling
that.
it from the rooftops.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It is the one where you really get to show how much you know about the Eagles process.
Right.
Less up to chance. Everybody has the same opportunity to bid on everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Makai Lemon. What jersey would you like to see him wear?
The jersey number, yes. This is my territory for sure.
This is your territory. Let's tap into your expertise.
So first impression. So let's start with what he wore
I got
at
you.
USC.
He wore 6. He was
okay.
single digit. He obviously not 6.
I think that might be taken here.
Yes.
I'm looking at what's available.
He does strike me as a single digit.
I was thinking my gut feel was in the teens.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. I don't know.
He also wore 24 early in his career.
I was going to say, I feel like a 20 is like a running back number.
I don't like
does
that.
Fit the body type, but yeah, I'm with you. But I wouldn't want that for the
So
first
take us through the options.
Yeah, we're looking through available numbers here, and nothing really open here.
Is there anybody he can bump? I mean,
11?
7. He could take Keely Ringo's 7.
If Keely's out, which entirely possible, I like that.
He could take Tank Bigsby's 8.
Absolutely.
He could take 11.
I actually don't think they'll do that.
Too direct of a comp?
Yeah. What about the 80s? If we go to the 80s here, 80 itself is Darius Cooper. We can't do that. There's not a lot available, honestly.
I think he's taking Ringo's 7.
I think that or AJ 11.
Okay. What about anything up higher?
There's Hollywood Brown at 0. No. All the Eagles retiring all these numbers kind of makes it tough.
And nothing else in the teens?
Nothing in the teens available here.
He could take Britton Covey's 18.
That's true. I would like that. With all due respect to Mr. Britton Covey.
18's not bad.
Yeah.
What number do you want in the chat? What number do you want to see Makai Lemon wear?
19, Elijah Moore, if he doesn't make it, is also another possibility.
Okay.
Cowboys took an edge rusher.
But not Keldric Faulk.
Not Keldric Faulk.
TJ Parker?
No.
Malachi Lawrence. That's a Cowboys type.
They had been linked to him, and his D-line coach they just hired as their assistant D-line coach.
That's interesting. Yeah, the league speaking on Keldric Faulk. This is going to be great, though. We're going to get a chance to really root for Fran as Keldric Faulk ascends in the NFL. And
we'll see.
This will be the thing that goes on your resume when you get the big job.
Yeah, right. Malachi Lawrence. I liked Lawrence.
I like Lawrence. I like him too, but I was watching him like I thought he was like a third-round pick. I'm like, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah.
For him to go this early.
Right. He tested crazy, and that's what got him here. But all right.
I think you can be okay with that from a Cowboys standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean, from an Eagles fan standpoint about the Cowboys. Browns now.
Want me to share some quotes about Makai Lemon?
Please.
From the draft guide.
You could read all of these if you are a diehard. Become a diehard on allphly.com.
I'll do the ones that I have from former teammates.
Hold on, very quickly before I let you go. Now is the time to become a diehard because we've got this unbelievable deal going on. As the draft is going, you're going to get to read all of Fran's scouting reports. You've also got Charlie and Les writing about the Flyers. You've got Kyle and Derek writing about the Sixers. And you get discounts on the merch. And you get a free T-shirt. And you're paying cheaper than the T-shirt costs. It's a no-brainer if you haven't become a diehard yet. Please do it. Go ahead.
So, I've got a quote from former USC quarterback Miller Moss.
Mossy.
You slowly kind of seen him slowly build towards a game like this. Came back from just being out. He was hurt, and he came back and he had a huge game. Having him healthy is really important for us. He's a hell of a player. He's a guy that consistently gets open and gets man coverage, which is really important. He's got really, really reliable hands. He's a competitor, just someone in general that I love playing with. That's from his former quarterback. From a former teammate in the receiver room, Deuce Robinson. Lem's incredible. He's a dog. He's everything that you'd want a great receiver to be. Super physical, dog mindset, catches everything, runs great routes. Anything you can ask for, Lem's got it.
Lem.
Yeah, Lem. In talking with a West Coast scout from a different team, told me coach's favorite in the building, the guy that they vouch for internally repeatedly. I've got some anonymous quotes from scouts from other pieces, but rather than me read that for free, go check that out in the guide. That's all in the Die Hard draft. Those are the quotes that I was able to pull.
Would you trade Would you trade next year's second to get back into the second round this year for an extra pick if you know that you're getting that from AJ?
No.
What about for Keldric Faulk?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would for that player. Yeah. I would for Faulk, but not for
Faulk. Faulk,
Yeah.
Faulk, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we try EJ? All right, let's do it. EJ Smith, the great Eagles insider, hopefully joins us from the Jefferson Health Complex. EJ, how are you?
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, we got you. All right.
I'm glad. I got a lot
Shout
of
out to
thoughts
Lindsay
on
and Conte making it happen behind the scenes. Wait, I think he lost you again.
Oh, no, did you lose me? You got me?
No, we lost you. We heard you, and now you're gone.
Well, the chat can hear me. So
What the heck?
shout out to the chat. I apologize.
What happened?
Technical
What the fuck?
difficulties.
Or did you mute yourself or something?
No, definitely not muted.
What happened? Uh-oh. Keep talking. Less
you hear me?
walking, more talking.
No.
No.
High lemon. Got lots of thoughts.
Oh, I can hear him very, very lightly.
I don't know if it's coming
It's
through
your
his
mic. Did you
Yeah.
turn your mic volume up, EJ?
Okay, is this better?
Yes. Yes,
All right.
it's better.
You got me?
You're still pretty low, but we can hear you.
This is as high as my mic goes.
I don't know if you're plugged in or not, but something's going on, but we can hear you. You sound itty bitty teeny tiny.
I think the chat is hearing him, but we're not hearing him in our headphones. That's what it is.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right, well, go ahead and talk, EJ.
All right, if you can hear me.
Go
I
ahead.
have a lot of thoughts on this.
Talk, go ahead.
So, the first one, last time the Eagles traded up for a receiver with the Dallas Cowboys, it was for DeVonta Smith. So, now we got first takeaway. Second takeaway. The Eagles came in to this draft weekend. I said at the top of the show, came into this draft weekend.
Oh, they can, like on here, you can hear them.
They came in this draft weekend looking for blue chip talents on offense, and I think that they feel like Makai Lemon is the type of player that they can build around on the long term for this offense. And I think this is going to be another one. When we hear from Howie Roseman, I hear from him shortly at the Jefferson Health Complex. I think he's going to say Makai Lemon is a player that stood out on their board, and that's why they made the move up together. I am surprised that this was the pick here for some of the reservations that you guys have laid out, but I do think, again, this is a building block that they are hoping to have at wide receiver here in a Sean Mannion scheme. So I think it makes some sense from that perspective. And the last thing is, for anybody who wanted to hold out hope that A.J. Brown was coming back to the Eagles, I think this closes the deal. I think it was already closed, and I think this is a further signal that A.J. Brown is headed to New England after June 1st.
All right. Thank you, EJ. We appreciate the insight. We're going to try to get you back again where we can hear you, but otherwise, you look great. All right. Thank you, EJ. I'm sure very insightful. In typical EJ fashion.
Of course.
No doubt about it. Okay. A couple more minutes before we get to break. A reminder about everything we're doing for Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the big draft. Let's check in on what we've raised so far. Over 2,000. Nice job, everybody.
Wow.
2,200. That's very exciting. You see the donate button there. We appreciate that, and thanks everybody for the super chats and the thumbs ups that you're doing. Don't forget to continue to hit those. We are going to still be here throughout the end of the draft, and we will also have you covered for the press conference between Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni. EJ will be there for that. Will give us the insight that we need, and we are rolling on tomorrow night as well. So we're not going anywhere. Nor is EJ. What do you think? What do you think Howie is going to say? I know EJ was talking about it, but give me a prediction about something we hear from Howie about this selection.
A.J. Brown's an Eagle. I mean, they're going to talk about just catching the football. They're going to talk about the toughness and competitiveness. A guy who's extremely productive. He does all the little things well. I would think those are going to be the big talking points. The fit in the offense we're excited about. Yeah, I think those are going to be the big talking points. It's easy to sell this player.
You're a seasoned Howie watcher.
That's right. Top guy on our board, just who we wanted to get. It's so funny to kind of do this without addressing the elephant in the room too, right? It's like, we just want to make that wide receiver room even crazy better.
Well, we talked to we wanted to get deeper there.
Yeah,
that was a lesson we learned.
Yeah.
And it's not just the over the middle stuff with Lemon. It's also the Jalen Hurts target disparity.
I think that's going to come up.
Yeah,
I think they're going to talk about how they might handle the position. Kind of like how we talked about tight end and the things we need to value differently there.
Yeah.
Maybe the approach we need to take at wide receiver is different than it's been.
I also think there's a way to look at this, Fran. We know AJ's going now. This pick is probably really good news for DeVonta Smith.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Right.
Because we've talked about sort of the expectations being that in this offense, they feel like DeVonta could be as productive as Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like he's that level of player. And now he's not going to be, in theory, the solo focus of opposing, secondary game plans. Makai Lemon will be there to take some of the heat off of him. And maybe this helps unlock him as a true bona fide number one.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, there's a lot of faith in that building of DeVonta Smith and being able to handle the load as that guy. And so, regardless of whether Makai Lemon was in the picture or not, they had big plans for DeVonta Smith. And that is what, honestly, I had reservations about Makai Lemon going super high in the draft, going with the thought that he was going to be the guy. But when you have DeVonta Smith in the building and you say, all right, now these guys can kind of complement each other, to me, that excites me more for the future of Makai Lemon than if he went to Miami or if he went to Cleveland, right? To me, I am more on board with this selection, with him fitting here as opposed to elsewhere. That makes me feel better about the projection.
I think that's fair. And then this is one where the kinds of conversations they're having in the building about the relative value of the picks. We talked about this with safety, that even if his ceiling is a good number two, I mean, a good number two gets paid $20 million on the open market, right?
A good number two has been essential for them in this very high level stretch of success that they've had. Having both AJ and DeVonta at their peak has been the most successful era of Eagles football.
Now, one thing I'm thinking about, Fran, is we know that DeVonta is also very good in the slot and oftentimes underutilized there. Can Makai Lemon win on the outside?
Yeah, I think he can win on the outside in the ways that Amon-Ra St. Brown wins on the outside, the way that Khalil Shakir wins on the outside, the way that you want to keep him on the move. If he was playing in the offense of last year, where there's not a lot of motion and there's not a lot of stacks and bunches and things like that, that would be concerning. I think that the fact, you look at how USC...
You're using a first-round pick on Makai Lemon, we better see a lot of motion.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think to best utilize him and best unlock him, he's got to be on the move. I think that's fair.
Something to keep in mind?
Yeah.
Haven't seen that from a Nick Sirianni offense. So.
We have not.
Okay.
I'm going to jump off DLLS and talk a little Malachi Lawrence. I'll be back.
Good to see you.
Yeah. I have a question for you.
What do you got?
How do you think that if you're going to stork rank the targets for next year, assuming health, but you want to bake that in, you can. What do you think for the Eagles receiver room? DeVonta number one.
DeVonta, Lemon.
Lemon.
For sure, don't you think?
I think so. I mean, I think ideally, yes.
Yeah. I think Wicks 3. I guess Hollywood 4.
I was going to say, if you're talking about...
I think there's an opening for Darius Cooper to win that spot.
Well, of course. You're talking to the guy who invented Darius Cooper.
It's true.
And the guy who also invented...
Put a stamp on him,
Yes, put a stamp on him. I do think, again, it's just interesting to think about a receiver room that does have more of a split-out target share. You would hope.
You would hope.
Just even what they've invested in also, if we're talking about DeVonta Smith as a winner from this trade, I would say a loser might be Hollywood Brown. Who,
for sure.
Is he definitely making the team?
No, although I think his contract is a little bit more guaranteed than you would have liked.
Right.
So I think he probably does make the team. But it makes sense. That's the first one they made to sort of set a baseline, and then they found two guys who are better than him. We'll see how it goes. For the record, the Cleveland Browns at 24, taking Casey Concepcion, the exciting wide receiver from Texas A&M. That puts the Bears on the clock, although it sounds like the Texans have traded up. The Bears have made their pick, so we missed one. All right, we'll wait and see what happens there. But we're going to try E.J. Smith one more time. E.J. Smith, hopefully live from the Jefferson Health Complex. E.J., are you there?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Nope, can't hear anything you say. Hold on.
Wait, testing. Hello. from the NovaCare from
working
the
on it.
Jefferson Health Complex. You got me?
I've got you low again. Same issue. Sorry, Bubba. That's live TV for you. Too bad. Good news. If you're watching on television, on Fast, it's time for our TV break. That's right. We'll be back in 2 minutes if you're watching on Fast. If you're watching on YouTube, stay with us. How do you view the receptions?
Yeah, I'm going to go DeVonta, Lemon, Wicks. I'm going to go Cooper. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, why not?
I know everything the Eagles are doing is signaling to us that they don't actually, or not putting a lot of turkeys in the Darius Cooper basket there, but I believe in the player. I genuinely do. And then at that point, I don't know if Hollywood Brown makes the team or not. We'll see with Johnny Wilson. Not feeling good about Elijah Moore's chances, which I never felt necessarily great about. And I think part of why he did sign with the Eagles was not to be friends with AJ on the team, but rather maybe AJ tipping him off to being like, there could be a role for you on this team since I'm probably not going to be back.
Yeah, that's true. Bears at 25 taking Dylan Thieneman, the safety from Oregon. And that is where the Texans have moved up 2 spots, taking the Bills spot at 26. You wonder who they're taking. Could that be Keldric Faulk? That would be a fun one. In that defense?
I could see that.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Who did they hire as defensive coordinator? Do we know?
The Texans? The
I
Bills.
thought you said
The
Bills.
Texans traded up.
Gotcha. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Jim Leonard
Nico.
is the Bills' defensive coordinator. The Texans moved up 2 spots to take the Bills spot. Okay. Let's take a break. Been going for a while here on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show in conjunction with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Stay with us as we take you through the final 7 picks of the first round on the night that the Eagles make it a lemon party and draft Makai Lemon, the USC wide receiver. Chickies and Pete's, we're here. And you know that Chickies and Pete's was voted the #1 sports bar in America by ESPN, and they are right here in the Delaware Valley. The best sports bar and crab house on the planet. Now you can build your own scrumptious seafood boil. Choose from mussels, sweet and succulent snow crab legs, Dungeness or hard-shell crab, tasty lobster claw, or clams. You can get it all. And the boils also include Chickies and Pete's delectable smoked sausage, corn, and potatoes, plus crab juice, drawn butter, and you know you got that bread for dipping, baby. Or you could try Chickies' delicious shrimp po' boy, baked oysters, crab cake sliders, or Philly cheeseburger sliders, plus half-price classic or boneless wings every Monday night only at Chickies and Pete's. For details and locations, visit chickiesandpete's.com. That's CHICKIES and Pete's.com. We love Chickies.
The Fanatics app is the all-in-one destination for every part of your sports fandom. You can get official gear from your favorite teams and players, including the latest drops, exclusive releases, and must-have merch all in one place. Playoff time is heating up for the Sixers and the Flyers in the next few weeks. Now is the perfect time to get some new gear. It's also more than just shopping. You can play free daily games in the app to earn fan cash, which you can spend on jerseys, game tickets, collectibles, and much, much more. Imagine scoring some Sixers playoff tickets or getting a new Flyers jersey just by playing the free daily game in the app. It's all in one place, and it's built for fans like you. So download the Fanatics app today and start cashing in on your fandom. App access open to all, 21 and over to play. No purchase necessary. U.S. only. Void where prohibited.
On the PHLY Eagles podcast, here at Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, in New Jersey. How you feeling?
Feel good. Grew up in New Jersey.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You feel like you lay claim to this space?
I think
You think you're better than me?
Never that. Definitely not that.
How far from here?
Probably like a good 40 minutes.
Okay.
In the mythical, does it exist, doesn't it exist, central jersey, I always tell people, culturally, no, because you kind of either side with Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like me.
But geographically.
Yeah, but geographically. Actually, it was funny. I was posting about this event on bleedinggreennation.com, telling people to come out.
Check it out.
And I was like, it's going to be in South Jersey. And someone was like, that's not South. Marlton is not South Jersey.
They think that's Central Jersey?
I was like,
come on.
We're next to Cherry Hill.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Very clearly South Jersey.
So, with all due respect.
Come on.
Just disagree.
What a beautiful Chickies and Pete's this is.
It's a great
spot.
Great
space. They've been very helpful to us. Thank you so much to Chickies. This has been a wonderful night as the Eagles make Makai Lemon happen. Another trade happened. The Dolphins moving up 2 spots, or 3 spots, taking the Niners spot at 27, but we still don't know who the Texans have taken, do we, or do you know?
I've not seen the Texans pick.
Okay. What would you like to see the Eagles accomplish on day 2 of the draft?
Yeah, so, like, you would think, I would say, well, now that they didn't get the offensive tackle early, they still have to do that. But the problem with that is, as you've highlighted many times on this program, that's really not the range to get one of those guys. There's obviously exceptions to the rule, but I think the value might be more at
interior.
Edge rusher.
Okay.
Or interior as well.
Yeah. I still think they're going to draft a tight end at some point early here. They kind of need to.
That's the thing. They have to. It was insane kind of last year that they did not address that position with any player, as you talked about, even in undrafted free agency, adding someone who could feasibly be on the roster. They're in that same situation this year where it's just all one-year players,
right?
And they need someone.
These are the tackles. These are the elite tackles. You see almost all of them are round 1. There's Mitchell Schwartz, Andrew Whitworth, and Deion Dawkins. Those are the only second-round picks. Orlando Brown Jr., the only third-round pick. It's like 21 of 30 come in the first round, the best tackles. Now, it doesn't mean you need to use a second-round pick on a guy who has all-pro upside, but it's kind of why I think that Markel Bell could be the guy potentially on day 2.
Okay.
I think you can get all-pro guards
right
on day 2. And I don't think that that's impossible for them to do. And I also think edge is on the table, although now this opens up the possibility of the Jonathan Grenard trade happening.
Absolutely. I do think that becomes more likely with no edge rusher in round 1. And I think the interior offensive line is such a weird spot to gauge for the Eagles in terms of, I've put it as if when you have a big need at a certain position, and it's so clear, it's not ideal in the sense that you have the hole there, but you know what you need to do with that information. Yeah. What do you do in the Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson situation where they're on the roster, but the health situation is such a question mark?
Yeah, it's a good question. Now, Keelan Rutledge is the pick for the Houston Texans.
Wow.
The guard from Georgia Tech, who you like a lot, Fran.
I mocked him to the Texans a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Flex.
Nice job.
Yep.
I like that pick for them. It's fine. I like him as a player a lot.
He was very Texans coded, very D'Amico Ryans, Nick Caserio coded. Like it was like that was a good one. I like that one.
Okay. Now, do you know who the Dolphins are moving up for?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still working on that one.
Keldric Faulk still not off the board.
Yeah.
Is it just about why would teams be scared off?
I don't know.
Because I think you guys have talked about this a lot. I feel the same way.
It's the production.
We checked so many boxes.
I know.
Though. Otherwise, and even then, you talk about the production in 7 or 7.5 in 2024.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I knew this was possible, him getting to this point in the draft. So I'm not completely shocked, but it's the same thing we talked about for weeks now. It's one of the big mysteries for me in this draft.
Let's think about the best players on the board for you, Fran, who have not been selected yet. Obviously, Keldric Faulk is the top of that list. Avion Terrell would be next.
Not a surprise that he's still there. Yep.
Peter Woods, T.J. Parker, the Clemson trio. So let it not be said that you hate everybody who comes out of Clemson.
It's true, yeah.
Jermod McCoy, everybody sort of expected this because of the injury, right?
Yes.
And then Emmanuel McNeil-Ward, the last player from your top 20.
Yep.
He's not gone yet.
There was buzz that EMW could fall. I thought Faulk could fall. Really, there's no big shockers there for me in terms of these guys are on the board still.
Okay.
All those guys, it was kind of thought that they could fall to this part of the draft.
Except for Lemon, or except for Faulk.
Yeah, but even that's what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
Straight,
you thought this was a possibility?
Yeah, everyone kind of thought all right, he could be in the 20s.
Yeah.
So not completely shocking.
Okay. How excited are the good folks at DLLS?
They wanted to know is the grade for the first round an A or an A+. So probably more like a B+.
Okay. Because of Lawrence, but
yeah, because Lawrence. I said we're down.
Yeah.
You got to feel great about that, and I'm sure they feel convicted on Lawrence because their assistant D-line coach coached him last year as the defensive line coach at UCF. So it's
I know,
yeah, I know. It's fine.
We're making our first round pick because our assistant D-line coach was there.
Yeah, no, it's I liked Lawrence. I didn't love Lawrence.
I like him. Right. Okay. All right, let's take our next break here on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton in conjunction with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Hit that donation button if you can spare a little bit, and stay with us as we close things out on the first round. Ashley's biggest one-day event is here, and it's happening this Saturday. Starting at 10 a.m., you've got 12 hours, that's it, to save big on all of Ashley's hottest styles. Take up to 20% off Ashley's furniture, or shop now and pay later with Ashley's 60-month no-interest financing, sofas, bedrooms, dining sets, sectionals, and more. Up to 20% off. Don't miss the huge savings this Saturday, and only this Saturday, at Ashley. All right, folks, you know what time it is. It's not time to be on the clock. No. It's time to celebrate Financial Literacy Month. That's right. April is Financial Literacy Month, and that means it's a good opportunity for you to teach your kids how to handle their money. If you're a TrueMark member, you've got a fantastic opportunity to help your kids and teens learn to earn, save, and spend wisely with a Greenlight account. Greenlight is not just any app, it's a game changer for your kids. Whether they're setting savings goals, learning how to track their spending, or even getting their allowance, it's all right there at their tiny little fingertips. So if you're looking for a way to teach your kids some financial plays this Financial Literacy Month, I can't recommend the Greenlight app enough. It's like training for life's biggest game. Head over to truemark.com/greenlight. That's TRUMARK.com/greenlight to get all the details and sign up today. Don't miss the chance to set your kids up for financial success. TrueMark is federally insured by the NCUA as an equal opportunity lender, NMLS 404938. Ashley's biggest one-day event is this Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. So if you want, you can just go there right before round 4 starts, get your shopping done, and then come on over and watch the show. But this is the chance to do it because this is a one-day event. Shop Ashley's hot buys and unwind on the Belcaro Play sofa and sleep in style on the Port Down Queen bed. Plus, take up to 20% off all Ashley furniture or shop now and pay later. Don't miss the huge savings starting at 10 a.m. this Saturday during Ashley's 12-hour sale. Welcome back to the PHLY Eagles Draft Show live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey. Bo Wulf, Brandon Lee Gowton, Fran Duffy, our Eagles insider E.J. Smith on the scene at the Eagles complex. He'll bring you everything you need to know from Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni's press conference. We have 6 picks left in the first round, Fran, and the Miami Dolphins, so much focus. Everybody in the world is talking about Fran hates Blake Miller. Fran hates Blake Miller. Oh my gosh, this guy's so much lower on his board than consensus. People sleeping on the fact that you also hate Chris Johnson.
I don't hate Chris Johnson. I like Chris Johnson. We talked about this in the quarterback episode. I liked the player. I just didn't have as high a grade on him as everyone else.
Yeah, and why is that?
I questioned the overall athletic upside on film. I know he ran better than expected, but I just didn't see that level of speed on film.
Also, it took him a while to get on the field, right?
No, that was Julian Neal, the corner from Arkansas. Yes, okay. When he was at Fresno.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. So Chris Johnson goes to the Miami Dolphins. They move up for him. Interesting.
Correct.
Kadyn Proctor and Chris Johnson as a double. I would have liked that second pick to be better.
A lot of people really liked Chris Johnson. So I was definitely lower on him than everybody else, but a lot of people really, really liked him.
And then the Patriots also moving up. So 3 straight trades here. Teams moving up at the back end of the first round.
A lot of dealing.
With the Bills. And they're taking
Utah left tackle Caleb Lomu, highly athletic 2-year starter at left tackle, came in the same year as Spencer Fano, redshirted that first year because he was like 250 pounds when he first got to college. And this is a guy that has the dancing bear quality. He's got really light feet. He's athletic. He can get to the corner. Probably a left tackle only. Needs to continue to get stronger. He's not a power guy, so there's scheme questions there. But this is a player with high upside that in time has a starting skill set in the NFL. But because of the scheme specificity and the fact that he's just a one-position player, I think that affected his value.
Do you think they play him at left tackle and move Will Campbell to left guard? That's the big question here.
I think down the line, that's possible. It's possible.
It's interesting. Yeah. Because he can't play the other side, right?
The reason why they moved Fano, because Fano started at left tackle when he was a freshman, the reason why they moved him to right tackle is they thought at Utah that Lomu could only play left.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
It feels like you can't divorce this from Will Campbell.
Unless they feel like Will Campbell could move over to right tackle.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Morgan Moses is like 37 or 39 years old, like something like that. So.
Yeah. Okay. You know what Morgan Moses reminds me of? An old friend of mine used to tell the story about Morgan Moses and Eugene Monroe coming out in the same draft class. And Monroe goes early, but he followed the team and he thought Moses was going to be the better pro. I'm holding space for that being a Markel Bell, Francis Mauigoa situation.
Okay, yeah. I can see that.
Markel Bell reminds me of Morgan Moses.
I think that's the right body type.
Possibility.
Look, now that they missed out on tackle in the first round, we can go through all right, who are the day 2 guys that make the most sense? That might be something to lead tomorrow's show with. But
I bet we'll even do a separate video that will be on the YouTube channel about that.
Stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Markel Bell in that conversation.
Yeah. But I don't know that they need to move tackle up the board.
No, I don't think. I don't think they'll operate that way.
Okay. 4 picks left. I'm curious to see what the Chiefs do here. After that interesting move up for Mansoor Delane.
Yep.
Yeah.
Could they take Chase Pasantis?
Make sure I'm looking.
Could they take Denzel Boston?
I think it's Peter Woods.
Yeah.
Peter Woods.
Yeah.
A double dip on defense.
Yeah. This one doesn't shock me. Yeah, that one doesn't shock me.
I like Peter Woods.
The Chiefs very much wanted to come away with 2 impact players on either side. Offense, defense. Like they wanted impact guys, and Peter Woods was a guy that I felt like if he fell to them, that would make sense for them.
Yeah, it's also, a guy who there's some like motivation questions with because he had this awesome sophomore year, bit of a drop in his junior year. You get him with Chris Jones. See how that guy works. You could understand the thought process.
Yes. The thing about the Peter Woods, the motivation stuff is like all the character stuff before was high, like rave review. I like the upside. Like to me, he's better than the 29th pick in the draft and any draft.
Yeah,
he's one of the few guys in this class where I was like, that's a high end talent.
Yeah,
so that's a good pick for the Chiefs.
The Jets have traded back into round 1.
Oh, all right. So they had the 33rd pick. They had the first pick in the second round.
Oh, now listen, there was a report earlier today that Carson Beck could go in the first round. Would the Jets? Would they dare?
They can't.
Well, could they possibly do that to poor Mr. Lindsay?
They're not doing that. All right, so they took Bailey at 2, and they took
Lindsay. The Jets are back on the
clock.
What?
I'm going to guess that this is Omar Cooper Jr. because they had been connected with Omar Cooper Jr. The fact that they took Sadiq there was surprising because I thought Cooper could go there. This could be Cooper.
That's a good guess. I think it would be really funny if it's Carson Beck.
We have a nugget here about Makai Lemon.
Let's hear it.
And apparently the NFL Network broadcast said that, credit to my friend here, Jimmy Kempski, the Steelers were on the phone with him at number 21, and the Eagles traded up to 20 and took him.
Steelers were on the phone with Lemon.
With Lemon.
Interesting. Howie! Yes, Knight!
Left a sour taste in Pittsburgh's mouth.
Not the first time this week.
Nice. What's your favorite use for a lemon?
I'm
You're not a big lemon guy?
No, I'm not a big lemon guy.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I'll throw it on throw it on pasta every once in a while.
Okay.
So, that's about it though. I don't like it in the water. Get out of here with the water.
Oh, really?
I will
like
go
lemon.
water.
I like lemon water.
I will specifically say like water, no lemon, please.
Oh, I like a lemon water.
Yeah.
Now, is it because you don't like the taste, or but you're like worried about where these lemons been?
Honestly, both. Yes,
Okay.
but more than it's the taste. Yeah. I just give me plain water.
I like a cooked lemon. You ever like on like let's say like a chicken or a fish?
a slice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I like a lemon in making a whiskey sour.
Okay.
A homemade whiskey sour. As Pop-Pop taught me how to make.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like limoncello.
Sure.
Okay.
I like
A
limoncello.
little dainty, but
Wow.
I'm a fan on this.
I like a limoncello.
I'll back him on that.
Sorry.
Let us know in the chat. What are your favorite? What are your favorite
Cheese melt.
uses for a lemon? I am not a big lemon chicken guy, though. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So we got a chat.
Lemon in the disposal to clear a smell.
Okay,
That's
practical.
a good one.
Yeah, that's a good. I
That's
have
a good
done
one.
that. Yes, I have done that.
Every now and then I'll do it on the grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to lemon juice over some grilled asparagus.
I was just talking about that
That's
as
a
my
good
favorite
one.
vegetable earlier. There we go.
That's a good one. Cheese and lemon Danish from Cousin Grace. I don't know that I've had
Grace.
that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't say that I've hit that up before. Lemon bathroom spray. That's a good one. A lemon spray, a lemon smell, lemon scent in a cleaning product. It does make it feel clean.
Omar Cooper to the Jets.
Fran, we're having a real conversation here. Could you focus on the task at hand? Everybody in Chickies, please tell us your favorite lemon use. Need to know. Is that all of them, Lindsay? We got more lemons? Lemon meringue. I don't mind a lemon meringue.
Yeah.
Not necessarily an everyday kind of deal, but once a year,
Like
once a couple years.
a blueberry
Lemon
lemon like muffin or a
Yeah.
scone.
Yeah.
Could be a good time.
That's a nice little diversion from the usual. Yeah. You don't want to hit that every day.
Right.
But a lemon,
Maybe from,
a
like, the
lemon
coffee
pound
shop.
cake, something like that. Yeah. EJ from PHLY checking in. We can't hear him, but we can see his words. He says, "Little lemon juice on a chicken cutlet is nice."
Yeah. I agree.
Okay. Lemon squares.
Like a lemon
lemon Pfeiffer.
lemonade.
How could you beat lemonade? That's
Classic.
the that's the winner.
That's the answer.
That's the winner.
Lemon cheesecake. I don't know.
Do you think the Daily News tomorrow, what will be their headline? Lemonades wide receiver core? Lemonades?
Lemonades. Wow. I don't think so. I don't think
Lemonades
it's going to
Eagles
be.
offense.
I think it should be that.
Okay.
I don't think it will be. I'm doubting the Daily News. I'm sorry.
Okay. EJ now going lemon pepper wings, a classic one. I gotta say, I like a lemon pepper wing.
Sure.
I love a lemon pepper wing.
I'm a heat seeker a little bit. I go spicy.
You love lemons in general? Okay. Lemon sour? Lemon bars. I had who had made lemon bars the other day? They were delicious. I forget where that was. Oh, was that? No. Lemon drop.
That's the candy?
I thought a lemon drop was a shot.
Lemonade Girl Scout cookies, top Girl Scout.
Really?
But that is a candy also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They're like little
bar
lemons,
is
right?
like
Or
it's
no,
like a
no.
face.
There's a thing I think that's like little tiny lemons. Am I going crazy? Does this exist?
I think I know what you're talking about. But that's a different thing. This, I'll tell you what, you're not getting this anywhere else. No doubt about that. Omar Cooper off the board. 2 picks left. The Buffalo Bills and the Seattle Seahawks.
Lemon head. Lemon Heads. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
That's kind of a good nickname for like a big Makai Lemon fan, though. Right? You're a Lemon Head.
Let's be careful here. Okay. It's a family show. We're talking about sour. I mean, come on. Makai Lemon is talking to Eagles reporters any minute now. That's always fun. I'm disappointed that Makai Lemon was at the draft because I would have liked to see a home video reaction, but that's okay.
The Eagles have been good about that in terms of like who they've selected. I feel like for a while now is the player at the draft. Take that for what it's worth.
The Tennessee Titans have traded into the back end of the first round here. Mr. Lindsay checks in again. The Jets' third pick of the night, Omar Cooper. That gets an LFG, baby.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, from doubting the Kenyon Sadiq selection to all the way back, this Jets team knows what it's doing, according to Mr. Lindsay.
Might need a quarterback still, but have the people to throw to.
Sure. 2 picks left. Bills and Titans. The Titans are taking the Bills pick, trading, according to Mike Garafolo, 35, 66, and 101 in exchange for 31, 69, nice, and 165. There you go. What a swap.
Wide receiver, maybe?
Tennessee. Who? Denzel Boston? You know what the most exciting thing about the Eagles drafting Makai Lemon is?
Sure.
It means they're not drafting Chris Bell.
You really have it out for
I'm so
him.
glad.
Did you purposely wear, I'm just realizing, kind of a yellow,
a
lemony tie?
That's exactly right. I'm so glad you pointed that out, PLG. I knew exactly what the Eagles were going to do.
You did say that.
I tried to give a clue, and none of you picked up on it. You have finally noticed that I wore my lemon tie.
I didn't know.
That's okay.
Didn't come dressed for it.
All right. Very exciting.
Lemon talking to reporters, as you said.
Yeah. He's got an interesting affect.
How so?
There was something about like the way he was talking at the combine that got on people's radars.
Okay.
Kind of like a laid-back affect to him.
Is he a SoCal surfer dude?
Not quite that way, but there's a bit of West Coast to him.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Eagles don't have a great track record of drafting guys from the West Coast. Zach Ertz.
Probably not good that we can't think of one top of mind.
I think you can think of Aguilar, Dillard. I think of Whiteside. More hits than misses, or more misses than hits when it comes to West Coast guys for Howie Roseman.
Deshaun,
good one. That's a good one. I'm willing to be wrong here.
What about UFC or USC? Also.
Ooh, let's do last player they drafted from USC. Probably Aguilar.
Is there a transfer in there at any point? I don't think so.
I'm trying to think of anyone else they have drafted from USC under Howie Roseman.
I mean, under Chip all the time. Or
From USC?
Pac-12 at least.
Yeah. Marlon Tuipulotu. Lindsay is all over it.
Trust it.
She nailed it.
How do we forget?
Oh, and he was good.
Wow.
And that's the most recent one. Tui. How could I? You know what? I'm ashamed of myself.
It's a bad job by us.
Bad job by me. Tui. Of course, I did draft Matt Barkley once upon a time.
The Bills pick is in.
Bills pick is in.
And it's a Fran Duffy favorite.
They're getting him?
They're getting Keldric Faulk.
Bills get Keldric Faulk. Good for the Bills. Good for Fran. That'll be a fun one. What? Oh, the Titans. The Titans are taking Keldric Faulk.
The Titans are taking Keldric
That's the
Faulk.
pick.
Gotcha.
It was the Bills' pick. It's the Titans who get him. Oh, that makes sense. He's a Salah type guy. I can see that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know what? Maybe they reach a little bit for Carnell Tate, but they get Keldric Faulk. That's a good night for the Titans. And the Seahawks have picked. So we were about to get the final pick in the first round. So Howie snipes Andy Weidel on Makai Lemon selection.
Wow.
How about them apples?
How do you think Andy Weidel feels about that?
I'm sure he's livid. Tanner McKee, West Coast pick. That's a good one. All right, I'm willing to take the L here. Stanley Havili, great one. I like Stanley Havili.
Absolutely. One of the last full-time Eagles fullbacks.
That's the last one they had. Was he after Owen Schmidt, or was Owen Schmidt here? I guess Leonard Weaver was after both of them.
At least in terms of who they drafted, too, right? He was
the last one they drafted, yeah,
right,
for sure. Yeah. I like Titans taking Keldric Faulk.
Seahawks pick, you said, is in?
Pick is in. They have selected.
No trade?
Now, let me remind everybody before we head out tonight, and we'll wait until Fran comes back so we can close things out, but we are live tomorrow starting at 6:30. The draft itself begins at 7, but our stream will start at 6:30. Presumably, we will get to hear from Makai Lemon tomorrow, and so we can talk about that. Oh, this is interesting. Seahawks reportedly taking running back Jadarian Price.
That was the
things out.
Top pick in their consensus mock.
Was it
monitoring.
Really?
Yeah, that was the one.
And obviously, they lost Kenneth Walker.
Yep.
I don't love Jadarian Price, but who am I? Far be it for me to doubt the Super Bowl champs.
Yeah. It's a fun pick, I think, when you're in their position. You won the Super Bowl. You lost a running back. You're getting another running back. I think it's one where you're not getting the ire of the fans for taking a running back in the first round.
This is like the Chiefs taking Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It's like, we can afford to take a running back at 32. No.
Yeah, I don't love it.
Winston Justice.
Yes.
Another USC guy for the Eagles.
That's right.
So we are live. Mike Patterson. We are live tomorrow starting at 6:30. We will be back in the studio tomorrow with Fran and EJ. And then we are live, and we're live throughout the end of the third round. And then on Saturday, live at noon, as the draft starts at noon, live either through the end of the draft or when it becomes very clear that the Eagles have no more picks. So, exciting stuff. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
What a delight.
Are you a grade guy, a draft grade guy? Are you opposed to doing that?
I'm not opposed to it.
What would you give them?
For tonight only?
Yeah, for tonight. Including the process, the trade up.
I think a B. I think this is a solid B.
Yeah.
I think the fact that you are making this selection because you know that you have to replace A.J. Brown makes it a little bit more unlikely to be a home run because you're clearly forcing it up the board to some degree. The fact that you have to move up a little bit takes it away from what would be an A if you really loved Makai Lemon. But I think it's a good player, the top player on the consensus board. It seems like good process. I wouldn't go any lower than a B. And he is the guy who checked the boxes of the wide receiver profiles in this class. I'm on board. I'm not blown away.
That's how I feel. I'm not thrilled. I'm not let's go. I'm over the moon. But I'm not down on it either. From a consensus standpoint, the value I think was there. I
think this is fine process.
Absolutely.
Honestly, if they had made the same move for Freeling, I don't know that I would have loved it.
I would have understood it.
Yeah.
I would not also be jumping for joy that they did it. I do think part of the hard part is that although they are addressing a need, certainly, which they had at wide receiver, that Lane Johnson replacement plan, and maybe they address this on day 2. This could be, there's a lot of draft left. But if you don't, then you're kicking that can down the road another year, and, you wonder when that could come.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the fact that Seattle was on the phone with Lemon lets you know that they did make the correct read that they had to move up for the player. So that's a good process.
I never doubt Howie on that stuff. I think that's.
I think that's good. I think the cost to move up in the first round, 3 picks of 2 fourths and a future 7th sounds about right to me. Actually, you know what? Let me look at the Rich Hill trade chart to tell you exactly what.
Now, I did see something about them potentially getting the 7th back.
Oh, the 7th.
Are we sure on that? The 2027?
Well, either way, that's going to be like a 1-pointer.
It
doesn't really matter. But on the Rich Hill trade chart, 23 is worth. Hold on. Let's see. The difference between 23 and 20 is 24 points, and so they overpaid according to this because the 4th rounder is 28 alone, and then the other one's 16. So, according to the Rich Hill chart, they overpaid by quite a bit. By the Jimmy Johnson model, no, give me Jimmy Johnson. Come on. By the Jimmy Johnson model, difference of 90. They still overpaid a little bit. So
I remember
Howie's willing to overdo that with the first round pick.
I remember Howie talking about, and I guess this is not a surprise, that they have their own proprietary.
Yes.
And that, because I remember looking back at, I think it was a few years ago, with the Cooper to Gene trade and some of those, and they didn't look like good values on those charts that you referenced there. I think they feel a little differently, but it's not nothing. They didn't give up nothing. It wasn't a nothing kind of move up. It was.
But I think they will be able to recoup some of that value with the 3 day 2 picks.
Especially that first one.
I'd be pretty surprised.
Or the first 3rd round pick.
I think so. Yeah, that would be my guess.
Yeah.
What would you, because we aren't going to get to be joined by you tomorrow, so what would make you feel good position-wise? You go to bed tomorrow night, the Eagles have really accomplished what they wanted to. What would you like to see tomorrow?
One offensive lineman, at least.
Okay.
You have to address it at some point. You were bad there last year, which is very uncharacteristic of the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel like they need to address that. I'd like edge rusher a lot. I'd like tight end a lot. I think those are the big 3, probably in that order.
Okay. Fran, how you doing?
Great.
Okay.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you? Are you a big Titans fan now? You're going to get your Titans jersey.
I am really excited about this.
It's a good fit.
Well, here's the thing. It is like the polar opposite of what he was asked to do at Auburn. Yeah. Robert Saleh, it's like the wide 9, like get upfield and get after the quarterback. This is like
we're
going to find out if my instinct was right on him pretty early.
And then how do you feel about Jadarian Price and the Seahawks to close things?
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Everyone mocked it, and I was like, man, like
I'm mocking it now.
Well, yeah, but everyone made that connection. Yeah, good for the good. That's surprising though.
I will ask you the same
good player.
question I asked BLG.
Okay.
You go to bed tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Okay.
Tomorrow night, put your head on the pillow, and you feel like, you know what, the Eagles have really accomplished what they wanted to do on day 2. What have they done?
They have 3 picks tomorrow, right?
Scheduled.
Right now, yep. They have 3 picks scheduled for tomorrow. I would say if they were able to get who they deem to be the best tight end on the board, an offensive lineman in the future, and a pass rusher, I think that's probably the shopping list. Yeah, I think that's probably that fits.
What if it's who's an interior lineman who could go in that 2nd round pick who's not Chase Basantis? Let's say he doesn't make it that far.
Emmanuel Pregnon.
I was
just throwing it out there.
Old.
Yeah, I know he's old. You didn't say young interior offensive lineman. You just said interior offensive lineman.
He's going to miss 9 months too.
Now you're knocking someone for paternity leave.
How much paternity leave are you going to give him?
Okay, Ziggy Wulf.
I mean, that's going to put him out for like a year.
I'm looking at the rest of the interior
All
alignment.
right, we'll do a separate video on that.
Yeah.
Check out the PHLY YouTube page for sort of a best available for the Eagles. But let's close it. I do want to ask your thoughts on Grenard because that is out there as a possibility.
Yeah.
How would you feel about trading a day 2 pick straight up for Grenard?
If it's
and then paying him a contract.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he wants to get paid a decent amount, and we'll see what the draft pick compensation is there. If it's a 3rd round pick, look, he's a good player. So good players go for quality picks. Like I'm impartial with the picks because I want these guys that I put all the work in on. So selfishly, that's what I would want. But he's a good player. To me, he fills that role. He's not Jalen Phillips.
No.
But he's a good player.
Yeah. And you?
Well, you would do 98, right?
Yeah, I would trade 98
but 64, it's a big difference.
64 would give me pause.
Yeah. I think I would do it ultimately. I like the player. 64 is tough, especially with the contract, but I think 98 is a no-brainer.
Okay. And the Vikings drafted who? I'm forgetting.
The Vikings drafted Banks.
Caleb Banks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So they've addressed the defensive line in some way. Maybe that allows them to take less of it.
Yeah, they cut Hargrave and Jonathan Allen this spring, so it was like defensive tackle is a huge need for them. We'll see.
All right. Let's close out since we have you here.
Yeah.
Favorite pick of the night, least favorite pick of the night.
Favorite pick of the night. I'm excited. I am legitimately. So here's drafted. Okay, so
that's a good looking graphic.
That's a great looking graphic. Thank you.
You can get credit for it anyway, Lindsay. Awesome job. You flashed it up at the right time.
All right. I would say.
And how's it not Keldric Faulk?
Yeah, I mean, Keldric Faulk is the one that definitely piques my interest.
Yeah.
I really like the Peter Woods pick by Kansas City.
How about your favorite top 10 pick? What's your
favorite top 10 pick? I would say, honestly, it's probably Downs in Dallas. In terms of scheme fit, well, it's top 11.
I know what you mean,
on the far left column. I would say Caleb Downs in Dallas is the one that sticks out most to me.
I agree with that.
Second column, I would say
we know your least favorite.
Well, yeah, my least favorite is Blake Miller. I would say my favorite. I would say based off need, like I kind of like Ihanachor with Pittsburgh. I mean, Makai Lemon, we've talked about a lot. I like the fit in that scheme. Biggest surprise would be Simpson from that middle one.
Sure.
Biggest surprise from the first column would be
Delane.
Maybe Tate.
Yeah.
Because at least I had heard the Chiefs linked with Delane, so it's, trading up for it was the surprise there. And then on the far right column, I would say my favorite pick there is Faulk. Biggest surprise. Let's call it Chris Johnson is the biggest surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured he was going to go first round, but Miami trading up for him was the surprise.
Okay. All right. That's going to do it for us. Night one
done
of the PHLY
Man.
Eagles draft coverage. 1 down, 2 to go.
Yep.
But we're just getting started.
We're going to start a mock draft now.
Thank you to everybody who came out here at Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, and also to everybody who works here at Chickies and Pete's for setting us up with this awesome situation and the delicious food and drinks. Good stuff. Thanks to everybody from PHLY who came out to help out. Thanks to everybody who's watching. Make sure you hit that like video. Thank you to EJ Smith. Thank you to Lindsay. Thank you to Katya. Thank you to you, BLG. Great to have you here.
Thanks, sir.
New in the rotation. Fran, you got a long way to go.
Yes, sir.
Great to see you. Awesome job. We'll see you tomorrow night at 6:30 before the draft itself starts at 7 and then at noon on Saturday. Stay tuned. AllPHLY.com. EJ's going to have stuff to write. Fran's going to have a day 2 mock draft. Check out the PHLY YouTube page because we're going to wrap here and then talk about the players that the Eagles need to have an eye on day 2. All kinds of extra coverage coming your way. That's what we do for you here. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow night. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.